And we're live on YouTube.
Good to be back.
Yes.
Home away from home.
What, YouTube or Discord? Or
I was
both?
thinking YouTube, but
Yeah.
low key Discord, yeah.
Oh, we're back at this very late hour, huh? So what are we
Yeah.
starting with? We got a movie chest. We got the
Yeah,
Coen brothers.
Got the usuals.
What
Movie chest, the director's dive, and then at the end of the year wrap up. Got some top 10s, top 5s lists, bottoms, obviously. Gotta talk about the ones that were
Yeah,
not
the most
so good
important
this year.
ones.
Yeah. The ones that are easier to talk about, honestly, because you can just shit on them. You know?
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
But anyways, I figured we'd just start with our usual chats. To be quite honest, I don't have too many things to say about either of these movies, but I don't know. It's because they're both pretty good, I'd say. But
Yeah.
if you guys want to just start off with the movie chest, start with some Training Day action, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm done.
Cool. Yeah, I think out of all the picks in the movie chest, this might be like one of the biggest white whales in it, or it's like one of the biggest movies that I hadn't seen. Had any of us seen it?
Yeah.
I hadn't either.
I had seen like clips of it, but never like the full movie from start to finish. So
Basically same, yeah.
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 Because I mean, it has its TNT cable run for, forever. So
Yeah, eternity.
yeah.
Like I think I had seen that scene where Denzel like left Ethan Hawke like at that house. Like and I had like I had no idea like the impact like of the scene, like how he basically just got left there and shit, like or what had happened earlier in the day, like
Yeah.
Yeah, this movie was like the ride along of all ride alongs. Tell you that. Fuck.
Yeah, I put in my notes
Yeah.
like halfway through just what a fucking day, man. And then
Dude,
literally,
right? I
he
like
says that
stopped
later.
halfway through and I was like, my brother called me or some shit and I'm like, yeah, dude, I'm watching Training Day. And I was like talking to him about it and I'm just like, a lot of shit has happened for like one day already.
Right? Fucking smoking PCP,
Yeah,
Like,
stops,
smoking PCP.
Jesus.
Just to start
I
it
like
off.
to imagine he gets back home and his wife's like, "How'd your first day go?" And he's just like,
I quit.
"Oh my
Dude,
god!"
right? Like
Yeah.
I'm kind of wondering, like, what the
Bad.
fuck happens like the next day? You know what I mean? Because like even though Denzel is gone, but like
He's
the
got to
rest
have
of
some
his
like
squad
repercussions,
is like
right?
still there.
Yeah, for all his,
Like the rest of his
Right.
squad still wants him like dead, basically. Like what the fuck?
Yeah. I thought it was to its credit how it was all in one day overall, though. Like, it just, gives you such boundaries to work with and it ramped up the whole pace throughout. Like, if this was happening to you all in one day, it just, like, escalates so much to, like, what Ethan Hawke has to go through towards the end. It's just...
Yeah, I was wondering if it would, like, mean less based on, like, just the name. I mean, it is called Training Day, so, like, if it took place over the course of a week, like... Would it have would the title have less of an impact?
I think it wouldn't make sense, right?
Yeah, you'd be like, what am I watching?
You know? I mean, exactly.
Yeah.
Like some movies are just like sold on the script, like, and like there has to be like a little bit of magic in the title, just to make it work.
Right,
Man, holy fuck. Did Denzel, I don't know, I feel like Denzel did such a good job of being like, I don't know, just like that fucking guy.
So believable.
It seems like him and like one of the other characters when Ethan Hawke was in that house with the Mexican guys, they just like do this thing to him where they just like Ethan Hawke is in a situation that he can't get out of, or basically like he can't really do anything about, and other people just egg him on to do something, and it's just like fucking A, like like I don't. Denzel does like such a good job of doing that, but then also like flipping a switch and like you just like. He's so believable in the like that he keeps telling him basically that he's the good guy and like he's got to do this shit, like he's got to be a little dirty to like get the job done, but like then you find out it's all kind of just like bullshit.
I love how that first when he first meets him in that diner, it kind of just you know exactly what's happening. Like after that moment, I mean I audibly laughed when he was asked him, you have a dick and a pocket on each side, reach in there and pay the bill or whatever. And then at that point on, I was like, I am in.
Yeah.
Denzel is on fucking fire already. I can't wait.
Pretty sure he opens that scene with saying like he's gonna pay for the meal, and then by the end,
Yeah,
of it, he's
that's
like having
my
him
book,
pay for the
right?
meal.
Yeah,
It's just
that
a nice
that
scene.
whole interaction is just like it just sets the tone for the rest of the movie because it's just like
Tell me a
yeah
story.
you should get something to eat, and it's like nah, you fucked that up, man. Sorry, like yeah, you're not eating. Yeah, the
Tell me a
story.
story.
Yeah.
I thought the filmmaking was like straight up intoxicating. Honestly, like it
Yeah.
was just like so inviting. Like the first at least 30 minutes, especially. I don't know. It's just very like solid. Like I don't know. It's not like anything too crazy, but I guess it's more just like you're there with them in the cars and yeah. I found like the lights to be. I mean, obviously in like the PCP stuff, it's like fadey and trippy, but like just in general too, like the warmth of this movie. You know, like it just like
Yeah.
really
How about
draws
the
you in.
framing of like Denzel, like the like when they're in the car most of the time, just like I don't know, Denzel's face is like 80% of the frame, and it's even like cut off, and
It's
it
like
was just
so
like
powerful.
just builds that intensity. Yeah.
Yeah. I thought to like I guess like your point of like saying how I don't know, there's like little moments where like throughout the script where they like because Denzel pushes him so much and then there's like he has to reel him back in a little bit somehow. And it's always like with these like
he always like
moments of
drops
like
these little moments that he's like acting like he's the good guy or something.
he's like little nuggets of like saying how he's
like
got the
you could
magic
be
eye.
me, or like
He's like,
or
you
like
could just
you
up
could
your
lead
street
this
IQ.
squad.
Yeah. And then like
or like when they're taking the money.
Even with him, like Denzel, before you know he was like super evil. He's just like two partners kind of. You can see him like when he's like busting the two dudes he chases after for getting on the girl. You can see like Denzel like show respect that he's like, getting after it and shit. So like they're like trading off like respect throughout the first like hour, in ways, and it just like works in my opinion. How they're like passing over and then like butting heads the whole time though, like
Yeah, the way Denzel just manipulates Ethan Hawke because he knows he can, for one, because Ethan really wants this job or needs this job. I mean, he straight up says it at the beginning of the movie, but and so the whole time Denzel can do whatever he wants, just as long as by the end of it, he has that like the warm tone set. Like even with the PCP, when he finally takes it, he laughs like it's a good time. We're having a good time here, So it's just
take that beer to leaving you out, like
nobody put a gun to your head.
Yeah, right.
Like, what a fucking asshole.
You're an adult, like
Such good manipulation on Denzel's, narcissistic personality that he has in it. Yeah, it's so good.
I read that. I was like reading some of the like factoids that Prime has like during some of the scenes, and one said that it was apparently Denzel's like favorite role that he's ever played.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
I feel like it comes through, and it comes through in the performance because goddamn.
Yeah.
Definitely.
I feel like this movie too, you're just like thrown from scenario to scenario, like it never really lets it get stale. It just like you have to like deal with the next situation just like Ethan Hawke's character is. With like new characters, new life, like new situations, and I don't know. I'm finding that like some of my favorite movies nowadays are the movies that are like harder to find the structure, but that there is a structure there that just works. You know what I'm saying? Like, and because like it gets towards the end where he's like losing everything and he's like, about to die. And then he dips out of that with like with calling back to what he did early in the script as like a good natured act or whatever, but. Just like I don't know, the first like hour 20 is just like situation to situation and like building of escalation. And if you just do that well, I feel like you just have to hit a couple beats. This is my theory, at least for writing and movie making, is like you really don't have to hit like page 15 like this thing. It's just like you have to hit this like thing kind of down the road, and as long as you hit it emotionally and get there and interesting and don't lose the audience along the way, I don't know. I think that works in my opinion, but I'm sure there's like a deeper underlying structure in this movie that I just like haven't fully seen yet, but I don't know. Something about this movie is just works in the fact it just doesn't stop. And then it gets to the end where it like finally resolves,
It fills that time with pace and with like interest in dialogue. Like it keeps you wanting more. So no, I think you're right.
And I feel like after Ethan Hawke gets through one situation, he goes to the next one thinking that everything's fine, and then I feel like the
somehow
rules just
clears
like
it
get
up.
flipped or some shit like somehow.
Yeah,
And,
he's
there's always
immediately
like a
taken by
twist.
surprise again.
Yeah.
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 Yeah, it's nice.
Which I
Kept
guess
me
goes back to
interested
the
the whole
name
time.
too, like Training Day, because he's
He's a
just
rookie.
constantly learning new shit.
Right.
Yeah.
He's still
trial by fire,
learning.
fucking the whole time.
Yeah. Yeah, I think also I just made a note that one of the best lines I thought comes when one of the best scenes is when he gets like dropped off at the like Mexican cartel house, and then you just slowly realize the dude Denzel dipped, and he's just like there, like holy fuck, dude. But in that scene,
dude, I kept thinking like, how the fuck is he gonna get out of this?
Yeah,
and like,
he's
dude. As soon as he
fucked.
like handed the gun over, as soon as he started asking about his gun, I was like, don't
so
like this is something
trusting.
you should not fall
Yeah.
into. Yeah, you're like yeah.
Don't take the bait.
Right.
But in that scene, he says he should have been a fireman, like defiantly. Like he already knows kind of like what his problem is and like how to solve it, but he's just like stuck in this shitty situation. I don't know. It just made me think like the characters, even though he's like kind of naive, obviously through the whole movie, he's a he's a pretty smart guy by the end of it, you know. And yeah, I don't know. I just a different movie would have pushed like that realization for the main character to be this like moment at the end of like training day's over, I'm gonna be a fireman, I should have been a fireman, you know, like, but it's just like this like clever note three quarters of the way through where the character's like basically done.
Validated,
yeah, he kind of knows like what he's done wrong or what he should do next, and then now he's just got to get out of this like terrible situation, you know, like
yeah. It's a credit to the writing that like his character doesn't really change a whole lot, even though it's like he's forced to in these situations, you know.
Yeah, he's kind of just dragged through the dirt and like brought out the other side a little bit, like grimier, right?
Yeah, that's about it.
Yeah.
I don't know. What did you guys end up rating this? I'm curious because I rated it pretty high. I debated 5 stars for this.
I'm gonna give it 5 stars, honestly. Like this movie works some magic on me.
I gave it 4. I'm definitely gonna bump it up to 4.5. I don't know. I don't know why I thought so low. I think like I said when we met up on Monday, like I feel like I got like 3/4 of the way in, and I was like fully invested. I'm like really feeling it, and then I kind of just like realized that like outside of LA, like this guy literally has no power. Like Denzel. He went to Vegas and totally got fucked because he kind of messed with somebody bigger than him. Like, I don't know. I guess like just the reality set in, and I'm just like this is still super interesting, but like I guess like realistically, like I don't know, which like I guess shouldn't really matter. I don't know.
You would have dipped
for some
out
reason.
It
lowered my lowered my view of it for some reason, but I don't. Overall, it was still super fucking good.
That's fair. Yeah. I think in a different movie, like they wouldn't have pushed Denzel's character to be so grimy. He would have been just like more of like the grizzled cop, but still good or something. But I don't know. This movie just drags that character to the depths, and like, I mean, he's yelling that he's fucking better than King Kong at the end, and like this movie's loved.
King Kong ain't got shit on me.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, definitely. This is a 4.5 for me. Actually after watching it, I was like, well, now I have to make a list because I thought this was my favorite movie chest. So I went through all the movie chests that we've watched, and it's my second favorite that I have.
Number 1.
Yeah.
Adaptation.
That's good. That's definitely top 5.
Yeah. Just after watching Adaptation, I don't know. It was like that was like an out of body experience for me. I love that shit. It was so good, so well written. But yeah, this one was like just pure enjoyment on top of just being well written, great characters. So yeah, it was definitely a blast.
Yeah, I think like the script is like way tighter than I think it's like almost a perfectly compact like package. Honestly, like nothing is wasted in this movie. Everything has a purpose, and then like almost everything comes back to like serve its purpose later. Like one moment I realized was Denzel's like on the phone talking about like make sure the bathtub's clean, you know, and it's just like who the fuck is Denzel talking to about some bathtub, you know, like and then
I thought it was like a celebratory, like talking to his lady,
he's talking to his wife or something,
like,
right?
Yeah.
And then later it's obviously the dudes that they're about to kill him in the bathtub, like I don't know, like there's like these little moments. Like the way that Ethan Hawke's character interacts with Denzel's kid and then kind of becomes like a buddy with him. And like that's the way he gets into his apartment later, is through that relationship that he formed. Like,
what's great about it is it doesn't overcook those things. Like
Right.
he just hangs out with him, and then the next scene you see him, they kind of fell asleep together watching TV, and that's all. And you know what's established there. Same with like the thing that saves him in the end is the wallet, where he picks up the girl's wallet and just puts it in his pocket. Does not bring it back up, but when it comes out in the bathtub, you're like, oh,
shit.
And she's like, my cousins will get you. My cousins will fuck you up.
Yeah.
Like, and they're it's like, I don't know. I think like this movie is like the script at least is super tight in my opinion. And I can see.
I think we're stupid, which is great. You know, it knows that we're intelligent viewers. So
tracking it.
I think yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So everything pays off in that regard.
Yeah. It made me understand why David Ayer, the writer, is getting like so much leeway these days.
Yeah.
Because this movie, this was like one of his first things, and it's fucking fantastic. And then he does like Suicide Squad, and End of Watch is pretty good. Not my favorite, but
I like End of Watch.
Fury's pretty good.
Fury's pretty good.
He's got some good ones.
He's not bad,
like
but
this Suicide Squad, and I think he did the tax collector, which is like he's trying to remake Training Day. It was just terrible.
Really? It's like, how can I relive?
It was terrible.
His first day of tax collecting.
My nostalgia.
Yeah. Ethan Hawke switches careers.
Denzel is also there as like the tax collector.
Cameo, dude. Yeah, just a couple like the side characters in this movie too, off the charts, phenomenal, huge. Like Snoop Dogg, Cliff Curtis was great.
Yeah, man.
Scott Glenn, I think is his name, is the dude that he fucks over in the
fantastic,
great stuff. And then I just had to write this down because I think this might have been the moment that it became a 5-star movie. I don't know, but like the way that Denzel clicks his two guns together and goes, and he just like points the two guns at that may be like the coolest gun move I've ever seen. So like he's like warming it up. He's like sharpening the guns or whatever. Like, this fire, dude. This is so good. So entertaining. Yeah, 5 stars for me. One of the best movie chests for sure.
For sure. I see why people rave about it.
Yeah.
You know, everyone has talked about Training Day, and a lot of people's like favorite movie.
It's true.
Yeah, it's definitely a banger. Very good.
Yeah. Good to get around to it. Finally.
Yeah, when I turned it on, I was watching it with my mom, and of course she's like, "Oh yeah, Training Day, this is a good one." And I was like, "Yeah, no, I never really seen it all." And she's like, "What?" So
how did it reach
right up your alley? Yeah.
Nice. I'm glad it's one of your mom's like in her catalog.
Oh,
it's definitely
of course
like
it is.
One of those.
Yeah. You got Goodfellas, Casino, Training Day, all that good stuff that she was just washing over me as a child.
Nice.
Damn, dude. Your mom's got good taste in movies. we need to educate our mom. My mom's like, Hallmark movies.
Believe me, she watches Hallmark movies too. But I think she would choose.
My mom this summer told me the Transformers was the best movie she had seen this summer.
That's rough.
Hell yeah.
I like watching robots fight too. I mean, can't.
That's true.
Was it the best movie or the only movie she saw?
No, she watches a lot of movies.
Wow. Something just really hit her with that one.
I don't know.
Well, shall we move over into our director's dive then and talk about that before we get to the end of the year wrap up?
Yeah.
Talk some more Coen Brothers, second movie in the filmography.
A lot more confidence with this one.
Yeah, a lot more kooky, a lot more going for it, I'd say, with this one. Raising Arizona, 1987. I've seen this one, I think, like once, maybe, like, and then like bits and pieces here and there, but it's been a couple of years, so it's good to revisit. What did you guys think this watch?
I think a second watch is definitely rewarded on the second watch through, in my opinion. Really? Like, it just solidified my thought of like this is a very good, like, probably the most successful like slapstick comedy I've seen.
Yeah, I feel like I should probably rewatch this before we do the rankings, just because like I don't know if I was just like high or whatever, but like I know I enjoyed it, but like for some reason I just don't remember a lot of this movie.
I feel that.
I don't know if I just like
kinda
watched it
just,
too late.
drifts.
It just like flew by. Like
Yeah.
It's a quick one.
Same thing happened to me. I'd only seen in bits and pieces of it. So when I was watching it, I just like, latched onto the parts that I had seen of it, especially like the fucking biker guy like near the end. Like, for some reason that's like a lot of what I'd seen in this movie. But goddamn, dude, like John Goodman and his
dude, he's so
like
fucking
his little brother.
Young, it seems like.
Yeah, he is. His bits, like when they're hanging out at in their house and stuff, and like Eddie's like constantly just trying to get them the fuck out because they're clearly a bad influence. I don't know. That just like crack every time. Like just their attitude just made me laugh. Like
when they like dig out of the jail, that like that shoots like electricity into the movie. Like
yeah, John just like scream like fucking amazing.
Coming out of the birth canal,
he pulls him by the fucking foot like upside down. So great.
Dude, he's had to have lost his voice like doing shit like that before. Like,
right?
I mean,
over the years,
or like when they're in the car and like they think that they because they like left the fucking kid on top of the car and fucking they're just like yelling the entire way back to the fucking gas station. And I mean, dude, they had to have lost their voices after that.
It's like chain smoking cigarettes while like eating cereal. Like
yeah,
Jesus, man. Yeah, this one the first time I watched it, I think I was like ready to give it a 5-star rating, and I gave it 4.5. And the second watch, it didn't really hit me as like I wanted it to. Well, I don't know. It didn't. I didn't love it as much this watch, unfortunately. Still respect it in a lot of ways, and I think it's if I want to watch it again later and like see if I can recapture that taste that I got the first time. Because when I watched it the first time, I was on this roller coaster ride that I was all for, But this time it just felt a little disjointed and kind of choppy, and I don't know. I was along the ride, but I just wasn't enjoying it as much this time for some reason. I don't know. Just me probably in the time. But
I don't know if it was the editing or just like the structure of it, but I feel that some of it just didn't flow as well as I thought it would. But it was like, I don't know, I gave it 4 stars. I thought it was like as good as Blood Simple. Blood Simple might be even better.
It's like now that I just watched Blood Simple for the first time, I think I might like it more weirdly, which I never would have thought after like before I would watch these two movies, or like I don't know.
Yeah, definitely.
We'll see.
That's the magic of the director's dive right there.
Man, I didn't really think about it, but yeah, I feel like I might think that way too.
Yeah.
Which is weird because like after finishing this movie, or I guess like before watching this movie, I'm like I'm easily gonna like this more than Blood Simple because
That's what I thought.
Everybody had said it was like kookier and like it's supposed to be like I don't know, more like crazy or
it's more fun,
like comedic,
Coen wacky,
but yeah, I don't know. I think I did like Blood Simple more.
Yeah. The intro takes a minute to warm up to, I'd say a little bit, like with Nick Cage's voiceover and just kind of like getting into it.
It was like a long intro. I feel
it is a bit, yeah. And then I don't know. I mean, the characters are great in my opinion, but like they're hard to kind of rally behind a little bit in ways. And I love Holly Hunter's character in this, and like their pairing is obviously like the juice of the movie, but yeah, I don't know.
The names of the kids got me. I don't know, when you first see it's like Larry, Gary, Harry.
They're all in a spot in the crib that's like there's no barriers between the spots, so it's like how would you ever fucking know? Like
they're all
they all just sit in the same spot.
Yeah.
One of my favorite scenes that it really tickled me this time was when the swingers come over, his boss, and he's talking about all his kids, and she wants another one to cuddle, and she's like, "That one's a quick one," and he just grabs a handful of M&Ms and says, "Think fast," and just chucks it at him. So good.
Yeah. Some of the shit, like if you're there for it, it's gonna hit you so hard, man. I mean, to me, I think the Huggies scene is like the best scene in the movie.
Yeah,
honestly,
that was my favorite sequence.
Just
the fact that like they're angry and then it just loops back around.
Yeah, it's just like they pick them up, and although like everything coalesces there, like their relationship, the baby, the crime of it all.
Right.
And,
yeah.
Good shit. That was just so much fun.
It definitely feels like this is where the Coens developed their tone for like
definitely their like sense of humor. For what they think is like a funny story, or like how they think like comedy works within like movies.
This is also, it's just a good follow-up to Blood Simple because it just shows you the range that they are capable of, I guess. I mean, they do everything in their filmography. They have their dark humor, they have their movies that, mean something and are trying to say something. They have this comedy. I don't know. It's just the range they have is pretty incredible.
It was it is smart to like do this one next, because like as a filmmaker, you'd probably, if you did 2 in a row like Blood Simple, you almost are like roped into that forever, right? Like,
it would
you're kind of put in a bucket.
Weirder,
for sure.
Yeah, definitely pretty versatile. I don't know. I wonder, like, I'm just like thinking of their future stuff, and you saying that, Alex, definitely makes me think they're probably like some of the most versatile writers and directors comparatively to some other people.
I mean, when you're going to see a Coen Brothers movie, but I guess you can't really know what to expect. I mean, you can expect good writing and occasional dark humor, but I think they're all pretty eclectic,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they have movies that you can kind of group together and pair together, but they're
like
so diverse, right?
Just like little motifs through, like, I mean, even the end of Raising Arizona ends like 2 cars on like an empty road. I don't know. There's just like little flavors that you can like feel, with their movies in between stuff.
Little breadcrumbs they leave. Yeah. Nice.
Yeah, I'm tempted to give this one 4 stars now after the 4.5. I might just leave it 4.5 and then decide on the next viewing. But
I got both Blood Simple and this one at 4, so I don't know. One of them will probably like hop up.
I think I have both of them at 4 too, actually.
Yeah. See if that changes by the time of our rankings.
Yeah. Super solid though
for both of those.
Yeah. Great second film. Just like solidified their skills as storytellers.
Yeah.
Definitely very interesting.
Iconic image with them on the lawn chairs too, just like chilling. Like I just love that image.
That's nice. That made me want to like go chill in the desert. I was like, that's nice.
Just baking in the desert, chilling. Well, shall we move on then to the end of the year chats?
Yes.
Been building up
give
all
me one
year.
Be right back.
While he's gone, I don't know if I'm glad necessarily is the right word, but since we waited and I let my list cook a little longer, I made some changes that are kind of, I don't know, they're kind of crazy.
So next week, so you're saying like next week everything could change again.
My whole list is fucking crazy, to be honest.
Yeah.
But that's mainly, like, I just didn't watch enough movies in the theater, like, that came out this year. Like, I don't know. I prioritized the shit that I did see over, like, stuff that I didn't see that I filled my list with.
Like we kind of mentioned on Monday to each other, was like, it wasn't like a smashing year of like, wow, this blew my, it was, so by that gauge, I was going off of like what experience I had the most fun with watching. So that's where I kind of like started to change my list around, because
I'm guessing right now that yours is Mission Impossible, but I could be wrong.
We'll get there.
We'll see. We'll see.
Yeah.
We'll see.
Similarly, like, I was like, I have a 50 movie ranked list, and honestly, anything below 10 to 15 maybe is kind of just like mid to like shit.
Exactly. Yeah.
But
that's
so
I going through the list. Like I only have 40, I think, from this year, but it was just like there was a solid top 10, and then after that, it was just kind of like. So.
So I similarly, like, a lot of my top ones ended up becoming ones that I felt like I thought about more, or just were like more original this year, or like better experiences or different experiences. So that's kind of where mine fell.
Yeah, I mean, I struggled a little bit.
Now I'm fucking nervous.
Trying to fill it out. But
well, I mean, let's just
should we just get into it?
Yeah. Start with some TV.
What are you nervous about, Joe? What are you nervous
about? Just this first one here. It's just gonna be. This seems wild.
Yeah.
Be like, why the fuck is this even on your?
So we start with some TV. Yeah. Easing with some TV.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
TV.
Right,
so
cool,
this This one's
Hey,
a
I
bit,
like TV. My
Top
TV
five
lists
or
are way
bottom
more
five?
solid than my movie lists. I'll
Yeah.
tell you that.
Let's
Except
go
for my bad
bottom.
movie list.
Let's-
My bad
let's-
movie list is good.
That's you spent a lot of time on that one. So yeah, bottom 3 TV shows we'll do. Just
Okay.
kind of give
Oh
some
shit! Okay,
I only have
some
2
taste.
because I didn't watch many TV shows.
man,
But
Wow.
I'll just
mine are
yeah.
some bad ones. Let's just say that.
You want to start it up, Alex, with just your bottom 2 then, and then we'll just
Yeah,
maybe go
so
through
they
each of
are-
ours.
Since I only had like 5 total shows that kind of like I was watching this year, besides I guess I had 6, but I didn't add that one. Because we were only doing top 3, right? And then bottom 3.
I got top 5
TV
shows, I
shows.
think, but bottom 3
Oh,
maybe.
okay. Well, then I can add.
I also
fourth.
had top
Okay.
5 shows.
But I'll get
All
whatever
right,
we
maybe
got.
I'm
Is
just-
whatever we got. It's good.
Anyway, so my bottom one, I just at number 2 for me was beef. Just thinking back on it.
Interesting.
Bottom?
I didn't even
I
know that
just-
show came out this year.
Now hear me out. Hear me out.
This list is
Since I didn't see
the
that
first
much,
one we've
I
done.
had-
Like, oh my god.
I know. Now let me explain myself.
I
my list is
actually
pretty
agree
short.
with this.
Yes, my list is
Wow.
pretty short.
I'm gonna put mine
For-
at 4 on my bottom.
So
That's
I'm
not
gonna put
allowed.
beef at
There's no 4.
on my bottom. I don't give a
So-
shit. All right, sorry. Continue.
Yeah, it's just watching it. I was there for like the first 2 or 3 episodes, and then the middle episodes happened, and I was just kind of like, "Where's this going?" Felt like spinning its wheels. Kind of, I
Man,
wasn't really
I definitely
hanging.
felt the same way.
And then the
I didn't
last
know where the
episode
fuck it was
hit
going.
really hard, and I liked it. So like those 4 episodes out of the whole season, I was like, "Yeah, this is good," but I needed more of that throughout the whole season. So that's why my note here is at number 2 on my bottom is beef, in parentheses, a mixed bag on it. It just didn't feel.
Honestly, I feel like it
Great.
should have been a movie. Like, because
Sure,
I feel like
definitely.
you didn't need to have 8 episodes and then a huge fucking turn for the
Yeah.
last
Definitely.
2.
I like
Like,
the
it-
pace, honestly, but I understand this gripe. I've heard
Yeah.
it a lot, so I get it.
Yeah, after listening to some people's lists as of recent, I was like, I'm glad someone like understands the beef problem I have, because it was obviously it was a hot show when it happened,
Yeah,
and
for sure.
that's why I watched it. And as I was watching, I was like, oh, I get it. But then as I continued to watch, I was like, okay, I don't get it too much anymore. And the end happened, and I was like, where was this for the last 3-4 episodes? So that's why it's just
Would you
Yeah.
watch 2 more seasons? Because apparently the guy who's made it thinks he might have like a 3-season story.
Jesus
No.
Christ. I'm not,
No.
I'm not going back to that.
I'd watch it.
Yeah, no.
I'd watch at least one more.
Yeah,
Hopefully.
yeah.
You could
I'd
wrap
be
it.
in for at
God.
least one more.
If it doesn't hook me by the first episode of something interesting or like means something is worth watching, then I probably won't stick with it.
Well,
I
wow.
just-
All right.
Yeah. Sorry to set us
Bold
off on that.
start. I like it.
Comments, get
I don't think that's bold at all.
Yeah.
No, yeah.
You want to just say your actual bottom then, and then we'll just move on then, or what? Or should we save your
Yes.
last one for later? What do you think?
This, I'll just say it. I mean, I only have one other one at my bottom, which was very disappointing this year. Was Ted Lasso for me? That was my least favorite thing that I
Damn.
watched. I dreaded every week turning it on and watching it. So
Damn.
I could
I
tell,
just-
actually.
We
it,
could feel it.
Well, I could. I'm sorry.
Yeah. That's true.
it's just it didn't have the magic that the first season had. The second season sort of had it, and then it just
Yeah.
you could just tell they
There
were
were good
they didn't, like-
episodes, but
decent.
overall,
Yeah.
I feel like it was just not that great. Like,
Bad
a lot of
direction.
characters had just arcs that that were unnecessary, or just like
Yeah.
it didn't go where, I don't know, it wasn't fulfilling as a viewer. Like, I don't know. It was just-
Exactly.
yeah.
That's
Well-
what it
well
was for
said.
me. It was just, it was just they didn't do justice to the characters that they gave us in the first 2 seasons. Like, it just felt like they wanted to make these statements and make these things happen, and it was just forced, and it didn't work. So
Fair
I think
enough.
that's fair.
It ended
Yeah.
in my top 20, I think, still, just because like the quality of writing is like better than most shows still. But yeah, I mean for
oh
Yeah.
sure, yeah,
for 3
I put it
seasons
in
of
my
Ted
honorable
Lasso, it's
mentions.
pretty low. Yeah.
yeah. So, so there's my 2 controversial picks
I like it.
for
Pretty
bottom.
pretty
Yeah,
controversial,
They're
but
not. They're not really that controversial.
To some
Well,
people, not.
Maybe Ted Lasso being
To some,
number 1
yeah.
of the bottom of the year is a
Yeah.
little. It's a little controversial, yeah. But
Yeah.
yeah.
I think it still deserves a beat, man.
All right, so
I
do
didn't
we
know.
have 3 each then, or how do we want to do this? Each person just go through
I
their
got
bottoms.
4.
now.
Yeah, I got 3.
Yeah, somebody else can just go through.
However you want to do it.
Let's just go through ours each. Fuck it.
Yeah. Cool. Full disclosure, I don't have any bottom 3s. I only made my top 5.
Oh fuck.
So
that's
if
fine.
if you guys bring up one, I kind of agree with the 3rd season of Ted Lasso. That was like one of the more disappointing seasons of TV I think I watched this year. So that might be one of them, but I'll just confirm. I'll just piggyback off your guys' bottom 3s.
Cheating on our fucking homework.
Let's just go at the same time. Then. Yeah. What do you got as your 3, Matt?
My number 3 is The Mandalorian.
Interesting. Okay, I have Silo at 3.
That's my number 2.
Gotcha. My number 2 is the Ahsoka show.
So we're kind of on the same.
And like, it's weird. I saw a side-by-side comparison of like episodes 7 through 9 in relation to like what happened in Ahsoka, and it's like, it's so fucking similar. It's like scary. Like it's like they're literally like just redoing the same shit.
Finally.
I don't even want to talk about it.
Yeah, I mean, I don't. The Disney model and their Disney show.
Yeah.
That's why Mandalorian had to make the list, is because like it that used to be like the shining gem of promise in Star Wars.
I didn't even
modern.
Put that on my list. I forgot that came out this year.
Yeah, it just like feels like it's not even relevant.
Dude, that first season was like so good.
It like showed so much promise, like of like like bringing in new like elements of lore and like doing justice to like Star Wars. And now it's just like a pipeline, like they're just like hitting a release date and it's just lost all luster. And it's just like, I don't even like to talk about it. That's why I just like put it in my number 3. So it's
and let's move on.
You just have to know about it.
Yep.
But yeah, number 2, I put Silo. I mean,
it's
kind of crazy because like I listened to some critics or whatever, and people love this show. Like some people like talk so like it made some top lists.
I was listening to The Watch, and both of them, the 2 hosts on The Watch,
I think they just get down a rabbit hole of like their own interests and like can't see.
Oh, definitely.
I mean, everybody's there, but like
I don't know. It just like wasn't that well paced. All of the characters were just like not very interesting and didn't really make realistic choices, in my opinion.
Dude, I think I said it before, but I'm pretty sure that show, the dialogue was written by AI. I'm like, almost sure that no one actually wrote that show, and it was just like a compiled list of like phrases. Yeah, but that's like the book has to be better written, right? If that's
the book was also written by AI.
Maybe, dude. Maybe.
They just gave it AI the book and we're like, do this.
Yeah.
Do this
again. Can you adapt this, please?
I don't know. I don't like. Do you know how many books are in that series?
I think it's like
I guess I can find out right now if you
3.
want. But
and I love sci-fi shit, and I love like post-apocalypse shit. So like that's why it hooked me.
Yeah.
And the first 2 episodes, like they front load that show so fucking hard. It's insane. I've never seen a show like that. Dude. Like shows you so many
characters in the first 2 episodes that are just not in the rest of the episodes.
Yeah, it's like best
there's like
actors
a shit ton in the
immediately.
First episode that are not in the second episode, and then there's a bunch in the second episode, or at least 1 or 2 that are just not in the rest of the show.
Yeah,
and it's just like, what are you fucking?
Like, there's the people you started the show with, so why would you fucking start the show with them?
Restart the show basically.
Yeah,
like I don't know,
so
it's just weird.
Like like the first 2 episodes, like they entice you, like they get you with the mystery, and then it just like cuts all like engines and just like tries to coast with like nothing to propel it. Like
this is exactly how I felt watching Lost. What you're describing right now.
Lost at least has like likable characters and stuff like that. These characters are so dry and bland, and like you feel nothing for them, and like the themes and the conflicts that they're dealing with are just nothing. Yeah, like the nothing is there. Like there's nothing interesting there. It's just sad.
Yeah.
It's just bad.
Yeah.
Yeah, number 2. I don't know.
Piece of shit.
What's your number 1, Joe? What's the worst show of the year for you?
Attack on Titan.
Damn, that's a controversial one for like most.
I watched it like a couple days ago. Dude, we all know that show is so shitty, dude. Like not even just like the end, it was fucking terrible. Like, dude, you just found out that like Aaron was actually spending time with like some of the main characters, and he just like wiped their memories or some shit.
He actually cared about
they just like got all these memories back after they killed him or some shit. And I'm just like,
so is that the gap between season 3 and 4
like
or whatever?
Had a bunch of like emotional ties that you just did off screen that you just like showed up at the end. I don't know. It just like seemed really fucking lazy and stupid, like and unnecessary. He still had. because he lives in the fourth dimension or some shit, because he can like time travel or see into the past and future. Or some, I don't know, some bullshit.
He's the time titan now.
It doesn't make any sense. So,
some Ex Machina shit, like just like.
Yeah.
So basically, he like it was basically like Avengers Endgame type shit, where they like. There's like only one way and like 14 million paths or whatever. This was like the only way it could work out. And they had to kill 80% of humanity to do it.
Right.
And I'm just
I had to become the skeleton
there's
titan.
only 20% of humanity left, and it's like the same. It just so happens to be the same amount that they have on their little island too. And I'm just like, this is like fucking stupid. And it literally meant nothing, because after he died, they showed like what the world was like after that. And like they still all fucking hated each other. And nothing changed. And I'm like, so like, why did any of this happen? Like, it was literally pointless.
What was this? Yeah.
So fucking stupid.
Huh.
So I don't know.
I'll finish it when they dub it, but I just am doing it to check the list at this point. So
I'm good on it. From hearing you guys talk, and I was already like on my way out after season 3. So yeah.
That turn from season 3 to 4, man, is like the most jolting left fucking like off the road.
Yeah, because it's just like they just introduced so many new characters, and it's just like this was so unnecessary. You could have just ended the show after. You could have just ended the show after season 3.
Yeah, I mean,
like
they
say
got
that
to the
there's
ocean.
more to the world,
Yeah.
and like they were doing good after that. They like I don't know
together in it. Yeah, they finally like
together,
like
and you don't have to do anything after that. Like,
and then Aaron's just completely fucking angsty and missing an arm or whatever the fuck in that. God damn that show. Anyways,
all right, let's just move on. What's your number one?
Yeah, my number one, similar to Silo, it's like prestige show that people keep talking like it's a good thing, and I'm just like watch it. I'm like, who the fuck is like, what? Like Hijack? That show is the worst show I've seen in years. I don't know.
Hijack?
Yeah, it's an Apple show. So my bottom 2 are Apple shows, and they're doing like this thing where it's like they're falling into their Netflix phase, man. Where they're like making shitty TV. I mean,
you said the same thing about Monarch, right?
Yeah, Monarch is terrible. So bad.
Yeah, I couldn't watch Monarch. I mean, I didn't put it on my list because I haven't finished it, but
it would have made
sure
bottom 3
in my bottom list.
Yeah,
gotcha. Yeah,
they could have been all.
That's like disappointing. I don't know.
With Yellowstone, the latest season, they've only released half of it. I don't know when they're gonna fucking finish it. But like the writing and the quality of that show is so bad now.
I heard
like it's so disappointing.
Yeah,
it's terrible.
Because our boy Kev left.
Right? Not yet. He's still there.
Oh, gotcha.
He's going to leave.
No, I thought he was done. Gotcha. But yeah, Hijack, dude. I mean, it's only 7 episodes long, and it's like they think they have this like masterclass like drama like contained in this plane with these, and it's the most like hackneyed like nothing meandering nonsense of like episodes, and like the simplest way I can describe that show in the terms of why it's terrible is that like over 7 episodes you can't just like tell people to sit down and be quiet with a gun and then like wait for something to happen and think it's like good writing.
That's like intense.
Yeah, it's like like that's literally every episode, and it's like, well, I don't even want to be on the plane. Like I don't know. It's just
jump.
Obviously,
yeah.
It's just manufactured tension to the like degree that is like nothingness. Like there's no grounding
just, like,
of anything.
Low hanging fruit of an idea.
Yeah.
To build tension, I guess.
Like it's not even a movie's worth.
I don't know.
Of like shit. It's just like nothing.
Yeah.
And Idris Elba is like there, just like literally giving no shits as a character. Like that's what his character. He's like, oh, I gotta fucking. Oh, I guess I'll be the guy to save the plane. Like, and it works like, because the show is so shit. Like,
if this was gonna be like, I don't know, if this was gonna work out better or be like a more long-term idea, like a schedule, I guess, over the course of a whole season, they should have done it like a boat. Yeah. Maybe like in like a different time period, because like I don't know, it might take time to take over a boat, but like taking over a plane, you just have some guys with guns. Nobody else has other guns, and it's just like,
and you have like a limited time in here.
You're already at your peak tension. Like they're taking over the plane. That's like when shit goes down.
Like what next?
How long do you need to have that play out? Like
exactly, dude. I mean, that's that question. It just blows my mind. Some of these things like aren't like vetted before you invest the millions of dollars. Because to be quite honest, I don't even know who the fuck wanted the show. Like this show is.
I think about that so much when I see shows that are greenlit, and they're like they turn out to be that bad. I'm just like, how the fuck did no one like intervene.
Say something.
Also,
Like,
the fact that these two are both Apple shows and like they are like rated well. Do you think like that's like borderline conspiracy or like Apple pays
probably
critics or some shit?
I don't
Like,
know, probably.
I don't know, man. I mean, like, how the fuck? I don't know. I guess it's just like,
Look,
I watched Silo.
Amazon
That was
done it.
not good. That was
I was gonna
fucking
say, look at
terrible. Like,
Amazon.
yeah, that's a good point. Yeah,
I just,
So
if you're a
Amazon
critic,
owns IMDb, and Rings of Power has a 7.6. Get fucked. Just
Yeah.
saying.
wonder how that worked.
Trash.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's little ways you can subtly get people. You're like, even if you like, in my opinion, even if you get like a private screener of a movie as a critic, where it's like, oh, you get to go to the theater and watch it before people. Even that is like swaying you to be more positive to the movie in ways, like, which is fine because that's good. You have to see the movie before, and that's cool or whatever. But like, just, I don't know. I've heard of like critic stuff, especially in the LA, where they have like dinners and stuff, where there's like stuff you get when you go, and it's
Illusion.
like, yeah, it's like you're definitely like paying people.
So we
all
agree. We all agree like that we're gonna rate this.
Right, it's like you had a pretty good time at that movie, though, right? Like it's pretty fun, right?
Great movie, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Wasn't it?
Yeah.
You liked it, right?
yeah, great movie,
Right?
right?
Right? Yeah.
We can quote you on
movie,
that,
right?
right?
Like,
It's not like I had a gun to your head or anything. But...
Right.
Yeah. Well, that's my bottom. I mean, I think TV was better than movies this year, honestly, but there was a lot of other not great shit, but to not be discussed.
Should we go through our honorable mentions or good?
I got honorable mentions, just quick
good TV
bits.
I got a bunch too.
I'll just go, I guess. My honorable mentions, I'm going to just go from like worst to best here. Crapopolis, crap. Almost put it in my bottom. Terrible show. I don't want to even finish the first season, but I have this principle of finishing seasons now.
Crapopolis?
And it's making me want to stop. Yeah, it's Dan Harmon. I don't know. That dude just gave up on some animation shit. He's just passing it over to people without any say of like quality anymore, but whatever. That 90s show, actually better than I expected. Kind of like that show a little bit.
Again, totally forgot that came out this year.
Yeah, it was pretty early.
I kind of just like picked what I thought was the best, or like shit that like resonated with me or something in some kind of way. But like, I didn't even like look up the movies the shows that came out this year. So
I just keep a list at all times. So
a bunch like I probably missed. Yeah.
Telemarketers. Oh, go ahead.
Yeah. Damn, that was good too. That was super good. And like fucking wild that like I was literally talking to my grandma about like, and she says that the fucking police telemarketers call her, and I'm like, is it the fucking Fraternal Order of Police? And she's like, yeah. And I'm like, dude, they're stealing your fucking money. Like,
yeah, they're still out and about.
It's wild that like that's like, I don't know. I just watched the fucking documentary too. Like,
yeah, that is wild. Yeah.
Fucking crazy.
Definitely one of the more interesting documentaries this year, I'd say. Jury Duty, binged it in one day, had a pretty good time. Last of Us, I'm giving the award to Best Production Design.
Totally, that one was on here too.
Yeah, I played the game after it, and they really did like capture a lot of the like feel of that game by the sets and costumes and stuff. But and then my number 6 didn't make the top 5, but I just wanted to give it a little shout out. The Righteous Gemstones. I think it's consistently one of the best like improving shows throughout the seasons. And by next season, I think if it keeps going, it may be in the top 5. Honestly, just like I think it's one of the best shows on TV right now. Honestly, like low key.
It's good.
And I give the Best Actress award to Edie Patterson, who plays Judy. I feel like her story took like center stage, and she deserves it for playing such a wild character pretty well. And then also Best Costume Design, in my opinion, because the fucking like costumes in that show are like very subtle if you don't look at it, but then if you notice it, there's like jokes like all throughout like everything. It's just really good show. So that's my honorable mentions.
Nice.
I have one just because I haven't started it yet, but I it's the second season. I just think it needs more love. Is Reacher. I don't know if you guys have watched it, but I recommend it. It's just a fun show. The second season just came out like last week, so
yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, my TV keeps giving me ads for it.
It's fun. Like it's not like don't be prepared to be like blown away by great like mind-blowing storytelling, but be prepared to just watch a 6'4" guy beat the fuck out of people, but he's also like an intelligent military detective. It's fine.
Alright.
Okay.
Yeah, I've heard I need to check
I
it
could
out.
get into
So
that.
maybe season 2 is the time.
Yeah.
But that'll probably, if I did watch the second season, I have a feeling it would be at my number 5 because I don't have 5 for my top. I have 4, so
Okay,
that'll be my stand-in.
cool. Well, honorable mentions, Joe. Then before we go into our tops.
Yeah, I got Invincible, Shrinking, which I think came out this year, Scott Pilgrim, and this show called My Friend Superman. It was an Adult Swim show, which was weird because it's not really an Adult Swim show. But like, I don't know, it's like just a weird twist on Superman stuff. I don't know, I liked it.
I didn't even hear about it. Sounds fun though.
Yeah, me either. Mine was also Scott Pilgrim and Shrinking. Those are the only 2 I have.
Yeah, I liked the Scott Pilgrim show. I don't know.
I only have it as an honorable mention because I think it might be my top 5 if I haven't finished it. So once I finish it, I feel like I could see it being up there. So
my body rejected that show for some reason. It just didn't want it. It was fine.
But Shrinking I will tout as just like a good fucking comedy, and
it's solid.
Yeah.
Like that's like the magic of Ted Lasso left to go to Shrinking almost. Like,
that's
sad.
For sure.
Well, let's get into our top 5 TV shows of the year then, yeah?
Let's do it.
Get it.
I'll start it off with my 5 since it's already been talked about. It is Beef. It made the top 5 for me, honestly.
Yeah, same. That's my bottom of
I can't trust either of you anymore.
Really? Dude, that show, I love that show. That was one of the best watching experiences this year, I'd say, as far as like TV goes.
It really made Steven Yeun stand out to me even more. I always liked him and thought he was a good actor, but
he's so good, man. I give him the best actor award right now. I think he killed it. He deserves it. He carries like an unlikable character, but relatable in my opinion. Like to me, like this was like one of the most human things I watched this year in a good way. Like it felt like it didn't judge the characters, but it still like obviously dragged them into places that are unlikable or like bad. But I don't know. The episode count for me didn't really bother me. I actually felt like it was pretty smooth. I think there's like a turn halfway through where there's like a time jump. That was the only time I kind of was like, okay. But then once it like continues the storyline after that, I felt like I was ready.
Yeah, I feel like that's like also what just kind of like fucked me up. Because like, I don't know, like already I kind of was like, I kind of felt like it was directionless. Like, how the fuck are they going to solve this? Or like, can they just solve this, please? Because like, in my opinion, I was getting tired of it. And then, after like the time jump, it seemed like they just got right back into it. So I guess like, I don't know. It was a little jarring at first, but like, it was just kind of weird.
Yeah.
And then like, even after that, shit just like escalated so fucking quick, like 0 to 60 immediately.
They had to like re-escalate the situation, but so, I mean, you can, to me, you feel like where they're finding it along the way in that show, where it's like finding it episode by episode, but not in a bad way, I guess. Like, I don't know. I was in it for the characters. I really liked the husband of Ali Wong and Ali Wong. I thought she did a pretty good job, too. I was just
thinking their dynamic was great. Even like Steven Yeun's character and his brother's dynamic was great. I thought all the way those intertwined.
Solid. I mean, I don't know. Yeah, that was one of the better TV binges of my year for number 5. So
same.
All right.
What do you got, Alex? As your 5, or do you not have 5?
No, I have my stand-in for honorable mention there.
Gotcha.
Because I only have 4.
I put Reservation Dogs at 5.
Nice.
I don't know. It was like the last season. It just, I don't know. They introduced a couple new characters, tied up a lot of character arcs for pretty much just like everybody.
Yeah.
And
left some stuff open, but in good ways,
Yeah, I don't know. Overall, I feel like it was just, I don't know, a pretty good way to end the show.
For sure. I think that was in my like number 7 or 8 or something like that. On to 4s. Alex, you want to go 4 then?
Yeah. So my number 4 was Succession. It wrestled with it was between number 3 and number 4 for me. But I still haven't decided if they landed the plane or not. Is all. So.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, in terms of one of like the most exhilarating TV shows like binge-worthy TV shows of recent time, it's up there. Because when I first started it, I binged like the fuck out of it, and yeah, I mean, it still had its magic, but at the point in the season when Logan died, that's where it like peaked for me that season. So
yeah,
which it was a great episode, and I was like, oh, where are they gonna go from here? And they did. They I mean, they surprised me by keeping me invested, but then they landed it, and it just felt kind of rocky at the end. So
that was my 4 too, and I think
it actually isn't at my 4, but looking over my list now, I think I'm just gonna put it at 4. Yeah, I know that's. I'm just making calling an audible here.
Yeah, all right, hell yeah. No, I mean, I think that show, in terms of like its evolution, because like I remember watching that first season and being like, damn, this is just dramatic as hell. And like, I'm here to watch these grimy fucking characters like vie for the top and for their dad's attention. And it just evolves into like more comedic shit because like you're just like, oh, like these are such horrible people. Like now I'm just getting pure entertainment out of like watching them all flounder. And yeah, I know, like my perception of that show flipped, I think like season 2, where I was like, okay, this is just funny now because of how ridiculous and how high stake and how out of touch it is with like how out of touch the characters are and stuff. So I just like that.
At the end of it, it just felt like I was being flipped around too much. They were like, "Oh, we're going this way." It's like
you've been flipped around the whole show as if you're Kendall.
That's fair.
And then you just get flipped onto the side and land at the end. You know what I'm saying?
I still think Kendall should have got it in the end. He deserved it out of all the characters. This whole letting what's his nuts get it, it just doesn't.
Listening to Noah talk, it just reinforces how I see the show, where it's like none of them ever deserved it ever. Like.
You can look at it that way.
It's just two sides. Yeah, for sure. I mean, that's the beauty of it.
I kind of wanted it to be Tom.
Right, except for Tom.
I feel like like right after Logan dies too. I feel like there's like this shot where it's like Tom like watching from a distance, like as they do shit with the plane.
Yeah.
And I don't know. It was just like how that shot was constructed. I'm just like, maybe Tom is
the only one with Logan at the time.
Yeah.
I don't know. I know they're all assholes, but towards the later seasons, I was like, I think Tom is just like purely a dick. I don't know. Like, I know he has to like try to fit in, and it's out of character for him, so he's like trying to be a dick. These guys, it comes natural, and he's brought into this world, so he has to kind of like figure out how to be an asshole. Mm-hmm. And I don't know. He got on my nerves.
Interesting.
I mean, which worked. I guess it works.
I think I just like ended up
supposed to be, but
right. I ended up loving all the characters outside of like the Roy family more, because you just realize how much bullshit they've like waded through because of this family.
Yeah.
So like Jerry, Tom, like all those, like Greg, kind of like, it's just like, god damn, like I don't know. It just endeared me towards him more. But fantastic show.
Yeah, I'll talk a little more about it later because it is in my top 5 a little bit later on. But
nice.
My number 4 was How To with John Wilson. I think this was one of the most unique shows on TV this year.
That's my number 3.
Oh, cool. Yeah. It definitely like ended on top with the 3rd season. Like I want more, but it's going to be like a timeless, like succinct, like portrait of New York.
I feel that same way, just because like if he did continue it, I feel like he would like lose quality or lose like what it is.
Yeah.
I don't know. Because like a lot of the plots like in just over the course of the seasons have like, maybe he's just like fucking around, but it seems like they're like long-term projects that he's been working on.
So much planning, and you like wonder like what comes first in that show, or what how he got this nugget of an idea and how it like moved into this avenue, and like such a crazy peek into like real people, but by the end of every episode you like feel for humanity in such a great way. And he's one of the like freshest voices in that like section of media, like the Nathan Fielder-esque like section. And
it reminds me of Nathan for you a little bit.
100%. He's involved in it as like a producer, so he's kind of like nurturing him a little bit. But I'm just excited to see what John Wilson will do next. I think he's a pretty cool voice. So
right on.
Yeah. Who's up for number 4?
No,
I
think all of ours were Succession.
Oh, okay. Well, there you go.
Yeah.
And then 3 for you, then Joe, for How To.
Yeah, How To, which animals is my 3?
Yeah, my 3 was Barry.
Nice.
I think.
Shit, I forgot about Barry.
I don't know if I think bold is the right word I'm looking for.
2 is actually Barry for me.
2?
I guess I'll just reveal it now.
All right.
All right, keep going.
Nice.
But yeah, it's just the way he decided to take this last season, I think. Like the time jump worked in this.
Oh hell yeah!
This season.
And it was like halfway through the season too. They were like just like 2 pretty well constructed arcs for like the first half and the last half of the season.
And I respect Bill Hader for taking the direction that he did. I enjoyed it. I think it was a solid cherry on top of the whole Barry arc. So
for sure.
I could be wrong, but like I think he like didn't he like totally rewrite the season or something?
He did.
Or like
he did. So it worked for me. I liked it. Definitely very enjoyable.
Especially like the last episode. I feel like that really had an effect on me personally, because like I know we just watched Zodiac at the same time as the last episode, and it just like really like illuminated for me just like how Hollywood can just like put out things that are like based on true events, but you can make it look however you want.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly.
I don't know. It just I don't know. It's like really kind of fucked with my head, and especially like coupled with Zodiac and like seeing like in there like whatever fucking Dirty Harry or Scorpio, whatever the fuck like movie was in there that was like based on true events, and it like was total bullshit, you know? Like,
yeah.
That finale is great, in my opinion. Like the turns it takes are just like amazing.
Yeah.
Very, very successful. I liked it. So yeah, that's my number 3. Barry.
Nice. I'm gonna also call an audible and replace my 3 with Barry because I totally forgot about it, and it definitely deserves to be up there. God damn it! My 3 before that was called The Worst of Evil. I don't know if you guys have stumbled across that show on Hulu, but it's like a Korean dramatic series, like crime series about a dude who's investigating a drug lord and like is posing as the brother who was the partner of the drug kingpin. So he's like, I don't know. It was just interesting, and like I just have a thing for Korean film, I think, because it's like replicating stuff from Hollywood, but it's also got this something nugget, something special that makes the filmmaking really cool.
Yeah.
But Barry definitely does overshadow it. So yeah.
Nice. Well,
you gonna change your 3 to Barry too, Matt? Or?
Nah, Barry was like top 10 somewhere in there. It was like 8 or it's like with Reservation Dogs, it was between those 2 that they kept like moving around. But my number 3 is The Fall of the House of Usher.
I figured that would be your guys'.
Yeah. I mean, to me, Mike Flanagan like did it again. Kind of that one is his best follow up since Midnight Mass. I've only watched 1 episode of The Midnight Club. I don't know.
I heard that one was bad. I heard that's probably
didn't hook me, but this one did. He's one of the few creators with like a super distinct voice nowadays, like akin to almost like Aaron Sorkin, where it's like that's Flanagan.
That's a Flanagan.
Yeah, it's like, and there's not a lot of people like that these days, which is cool. And he specifically Flanagan, he can adapt things to like a degree that I don't think most creators can adapt these days. Like,
absolutely.
Yeah.
He takes these works, these other people's works, and he turns them into his own, but he doesn't like forget where they came from, if that makes sense, you know?
Yeah, for sure.
House of Usher feels like one of the most modern shows I watched this year, or like in recent years. But it's also
so fucking successful.
Yeah, but it's also like Edgar Allan Poe, like hauntingly like 200 years old feeling too. It's like this super cool mix of it, and it works. And,
definitely.
Yeah, I mean, it was one of the better binges this year, one of the easier watches this year for me. One of the easiest like to click on and like want to watch the next episode of. So number 3, I just like his work. He's super good.
Yeah, this had my favorite like sequence, which was the mirrors at the end where she jumps up to break the mirror. I just that image, it was so fucking good.
The first one, I guess without spoilers, like with the youngest child, with like the party or whatever. That one just like hooked me on like
That was nuts.
where the show could
Yeah.
go. I was just like,
Yeah.
whoo. I had to watch that show. It's really good.
The whole underlying, very good show.
Yeah,
Very
super good.
It'll
So
come
into
up
number
on my
2's
list
then,
as
right?
well. But
What'd you say?
I said it'll come up again here.
Oh, okay, cool. Yeah, number 2 then, right around.
Yeah, my 2 was Bear.
Yeah.
Mine was the Bear for number 2.
Oh, okay. That's
Fuck, I forgot about the Bear. God damn it!
Wow.
The fuck did you put in your top 5?
Dude. Well, you'll see.
Well, before we talk to Bear, I just want to say number 2 is Succession for me. We talked enough Succession this year, so if you want, you can check out their videos or whatever. But I think like it's one of the last like prestige dramas to the degree of like quality this year, and like I don't know, in recent years, I think it caught the acclaim like towards the end, but it like didn't always have it. But it's always been this like super high threshold of quality that like has never really dipped, in my opinion. The 4th season capped it off in a justifiable way. Would I have liked seeing this 5th season? Maybe, but what's up?
I just said except for at the end of the 3rd season, about the quality dip.
Yeah.
But other than that, yeah, I would agree with that.
Yeah, I don't know. It's just like stayed at that level. I'm gonna give Matthew McFadden Best Supporting Actor award. I think he's just a solid. He's been solid throughout the whole show, and he obviously wins the show. You'd say. I think.
Wait, which guy is that?
Award. He's Tom.
Is that gotcha?
Yeah.
Fucking Tom.
He carries a lot of like the weight of the circumstance of this situation. All the other characters don't have any of the weight. Like, you know what I'm saying? They just shed it immediately, but Tom has to like hold it all. So loved it. One of the best like week to week experiences. Gonna miss the show. So number 2, but
true.
Yeah. Any other number 2s then?
Just the Bear.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah.
I'm not gonna call another audible, but the Bear is definitely tied with my number 2, if not my number 1, honestly. But
I'll just say it now, but the Bear's my number 1. So
it's my number 1 too.
Okay, yeah. Fuck. All right, cool. Yeah, the Bear. Fuck, man, I can't believe I'm gonna look at that show too.
Yeah, I feel like you really liked that.
I love. Oh my god, I love that.
Didn't you watch it like twice? Like
I did.
As it came out.
Both seasons I've watched twice already. Yeah.
So good.
But my 2, it's tied with Invincible. I've been really enjoying the 2nd season.
Gotcha.
Yeah,
I really like that too. Yeah.
Yeah, and I don't think the animation's like anything fucking revolutionary, but it's just good story, and it's like if The Boys was animated, which I dig because it's not your typical Marvel superhero bullshit. So yeah, it got into my top 5. But the Bear is my substitute number 2.
It's a 0.
This season of the Bear, this season just like I don't know, amplified because I really enjoyed the 1st season, but this 2nd season, I was in with every character and just it was a great like emotional ride. Good character arcs, very successful.
It had a lot to live up to with the 1st season, and it excelled, if not just like kept the same pace or kept the same like intentionality in each episode or like character moment. Like the journeys are like on a good track still. I don't know. It's like hard to like recapture the same magic of the 1st season in a lot of shows while still like growing. But this show just like feels like it just like matured in the perfect way.
Yeah. To that point, I was just thinking like each of its characters, the attention to detail it has for each of his characters, the respect it has for each of his characters.
And just like I don't know, the growth of the characters like over like the course of the 1st season or over the course of the 2nd season, and like I don't know, I like how like the 1st season is just I don't know, the 1st and 2nd season are just like kind of totally different things going on. You know what I mean? Because like I don't know, they find the money and like it kind of just flips into like this thing where they actually want to have like
no, it's like growing
they
and
can
becoming
meet some
different,
of their goals,
tearing down the walls, and to me, like the Bear is the show that I feel the most for like the medium of television, like straight up, like I don't know, I just feel the most like appreciation / love for it or respect, like straight up. Like And it's just like perfectly.
There were so many like really beautiful shots too, or like really colorful shots of like food, or just like nature when they're in Amsterdam and stuff, or just like I don't know.
The soundtrack too, like it's always got bangers throughout that like nail tones. Yeah,
hits the like entertainment, hits the emotion, hits like an artistic quality too. Like it doesn't like have to like dip into like different avenues. It just kind of is its own thing, and it like is unabashedly so. And I have Abby Elliott winning Best Actress or Best Supporting Actress award. She plays Sugar in the show. I don't know. I felt like this season she had to carry a lot of like anxiety and like emotional turmoil behind her.
I feel that.
So I just felt like she deserved it. She's just kind of like subtle, even though she got pushed a little bit more to the front in this season, but she's not the main character in that show, but she does a lot of work. So
yeah, for supporting actor, I have Eben Moss.
So good, dude.
Yeah, he was phenomenal. Like his whole arc. That episode is probably one of my favorite episodes, if not my favorite episode of the season, where he goes to Chicago, right? He was in the city, and they were just like, it was good.
Yeah.
Just the arc and the idea of teaching him patience and respect. You know, this thing that
just
he
like
preaches. And he was like, oh, so this is what it actually is. So it was just
watching him like take over the line calls too. Like the ticket. It's just like
go out and get the pizza because like they know like just what it means.
Yeah. It was great. It's great.
That's my number one. That's the best show of the year for me. But what else we got? Who else got some?
My number one is The Fall of House of Usher. The show fucks.
So good. Yeah.
Yeah, it's just solid writing. I mean, Mike Flanagan does it for me. Nothing I don't think will touch Midnight Mass. That has like a special place in my heart of like some of my favorite piece of television I've seen in a long time. So, but this is like a great part of his portfolio. I loved it. So, and I have like the Carla Gino, I don't know how to say her last name, but she plays like the devil character. She's my my lead actress. I put her in the lead actress category, and the guy who plays Usher is my favorite. Like his performance of basically just these monologues, but you're like when he's speaking, you're just there, like with him. So
those were so well done.
Very good.
Carla Gugino, I think that's how you say it. But yeah, she has a lot to do in that show, and she nails it.
Yeah, exactly. And it just like the show is what like we discussed, where it's like the Edgar Allan Poe, but what Flanagan adds to it, adding his own like underlying mystery of this woman and her character and where she's been throughout the ages, and it's fantastic. And Mark Hamill is actually really good in this show.
Yeah, he's got a cool character.
Like, it's just
I didn't even know
the show. Yeah, the show bangs. So it's really good.
Cool. All right. Anybody else got top number one?
My number one was Welcome to Wrexham.
Hey, nice.
Because fucking goddamn, it's just like a real story. You're watching sort of like history be made real time, and you know, I dig it. It's like one of those heartwarming stories that you get to experience in real life. And it's just fucking good. It was like one of the shows I look forward to the most when it was coming out week to week. So had to throw it up there. Had to throw it up to the top.
Made me cry. Made me tear up.
Yeah, it pulls on the heartstrings. Yeah,
it's definitely like a zeitgeisty thing right now, which is like even cooler when you watch it. It's like you're a part of like history too, or like people that are becoming fans of that club are, you know.
Yeah,
watching history.
In that way.
Super cool. Shit, man, I love TV. I love it.
Right?
It's so good, and I think it's getting better. But now let's move into movies.
That's the one thing streaming has done.
Yeah, it's improved television.
TV. Yeah.
Talking about 2023 movies, though, to be quite honest, a little bit disappointed. I don't know if it's just like my tastes or like I'm just like thinking like shit is not as good as it should be, or if it's just like the quality of 2023. But it's one of them. I don't know.
Yeah, it was a pretty mid-year. I mean, the highs were pretty high, but they weren't like, through the roof high. Yeah. So, like I mentioned earlier, I just gauged my top 10 was just at the bottom. Like when it gets down to it, it's just enjoyment, pure enjoyment. What I had the most fun with the experience itself. So
I feel that. Would you guys want to do top 10 or bottom? We did bottom 5 movies too, right?
I got 5. Yeah, we can just go through them quick.
Let's go through quick. Yeah.
Let's just start with the bottom shit. Get it out of the way, right?
Yeah.
I'm down.
Who wants to go first?
I have The Flash at 5. Or are we just going all of them?
I don't care. Whatever we want to do.
Yeah, if you want to roll through them,
yeah, I can just go.
We probably have some overlap.
I have The Flash at 5, Transformers at 4, Blue Beetle at 3, Ant-Man, and then Indiana Jones at number 1.
All big blockbuster attempts. I can see why they'd be bottom.
And they were all fucking garbage.
Yeah, nothing special. What's the?
Yeah, I also
had
The Flash. I tied Quantum Ant-Man and Little Mermaid for 4.
Man,
Blue
that
Beetle
Ant-Man was so fucking bad.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah. Oh, travesty. And then I have Elemental on there just because it was like I had high hopes for that one, and it just like was like I don't know, it just felt kind of like a nothing movie for me.
That one hit me harder than everyone else. I don't know why.
Was it?
Really?
Is that like Pixar?
That's Pixar.
Yeah, it's Pixar. Yeah, it's like the fire family, the fire and the water.
It has to do with like parental like respect and admiration, so that's why it hit me. I think it's like, good job, son. I've been waiting. My whole life to hear this.
I'm proud of you. Whoa.
Man, I'm proud of you. All right. I don't know if you need to hear that.
Now I'm gonna get emotional, guys.
Yeah, I don't know. It just didn't. For some reason, it didn't hit for me as much as I thought it would, or I wanted it to. And I did see it, but because I know I hate the games, I just had the feeling that I would hate the movie. It's not my number 1, but Five Nights at Freddy's is on there. I'm sure people love it.
I heard it was pretty bad.
Yeah.
It's bottom 10
I
for
don't
me.
really have a lot of context for that. So
me neither. I don't have any I have no right saying it's in my bottom 5 because I didn't watch it, but it's that precise reason that I felt like why was this movie made? The games are shit. Like this movie has to be shit. So
yeah,
so it was kind of fitting.
Yeah.
Is that it then? Is that all 5?
Those are my 5s. Yeah, my bottom 5.
You want to go, Alex, or?
Yeah, so my number 5 was 65. A very bad attempt at whatever the fuck that was. I just sitting in the theater. I don't know. I was just slowly getting angrier and angrier as the movie went on, and the way they pulled off the ending was supposed to be like this tug at your heartstrings, but it was just a. I don't have any of you seen that 65?
Oh yeah. I'll get to it.
I've like heard about it.
Okay, yeah. You know what I'm talking about, where he holds the hologram of the wife and the T-Rex like bites him. I'm like, what? How is this going? Anyway,
he bites the hologram.
There's some pretty tone deaf shit going on in that movie.
Yeah, it's just bad. So that's my number 5. Number 4 was Cocaine Bear. Was not successful for me. I didn't find it funny at all. Yeah, I don't know.
It was okay.
Enough said about that. Number 3 was Barbie. Did not enjoy it. I thought this was a messy movie. Very unsuccessful, in my opinion. It could have been great, but it wasn't. Some great performances, don't get me wrong. It came down to the script for me. I think the whole Mattel sideline kind of just tanked the movie for me. And coming into the real world, I don't know. Didn't work for me.
Fair.
Renfield is my number 2.
Holy shit! I should have put that on my list.
That one, unfortunately.
I don't know why. I was at my mom's this past week, and she had Crazy Rich Asians on, and I saw Aquafina on there, and I was like, "Was this the movie that made her a star?" Because if so, fuck this movie. I haven't seen the movie, but yeah. Anyway, Renfield was terrible. Very bad.
She's in every animated movie now, ever.
Oh my god!
I don't like it.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah, it needs to end. And speaking of Aquafina, she makes it into my number 1 of the bottom. Little Mermaid. It's playing Scuttle. You know, the Scuttlebutt song was fucking trash. But yeah, number 1 was Little Mermaid. That was terrible.
Respect.
Terrible experience. Yeah.
But I feel that I'm going to reiterate some of those here with mine. My number 5, So not the worst, but it's worse than other 45 other movies. But Fool's Paradise. I wanted this one to be better. Unfortunately, it's in the bottom 5. The script has like ideas and moments it's trying to go for, but I think it kind of felt like Charlie Day thought he could do like the It's Always Sunny shtick, where they just like get there on the day and kind of like vibe it out and like find it where they all have done it for 15 years together, but they haven't, like all the actors haven't. Nothing comes from what they filmed. It seemed like they didn't get it on the day. Like that's what it feels like when you watch this movie. But I don't know. Just got to say, it's not that good. I'll watch the next thing he makes though. So like I'm not mad at it, but not good.
Like Charlie Day enough. I like Charlie Day.
I like him. He's a funny guy.
It's
I think
disappointing to hear that, but yeah,
just didn't land. Number 4, Extraction 2. I think
this one's I should have put that on my list.
Yeah.
I thought about that one. Yeah,
this movie doesn't feel real. It feels like an exercise to me. It doesn't even feel like a movie. Like to me, they made the one take long action sequence, and they showed you the action sequence before the movie came out because they knew that's the only thing that people cared about. And like, to be quite honest, I would respect this concept more if it was just the 20-minute action sequence. Like, put the 20-minute action sequence on Netflix, and I would think it's good. But since you made this shit movie around it for an hour and a half, it's bad. Then you did it to me. You didn't like. I'm sorry, but you did. I mean, the extraction, I don't give a fuck about the little boy you're extracting. I just don't. I care about the extraction. Just do the extraction.
Actually, I forgot about the. Yeah, that's fair.
But,
completely forgot about the plot of that movie.
Yeah, it's just, there is nothing. It's just. Yeah,
I guess we'll just see who they're extracting in Extraction 3, right?
Will he get them out?
Who
knows? But anyways, number 4, number 3, Little Mermaid. Yeah, it's just, I mean, not as soulless as The Lion King for me, but it's basically like half a movie and half like fans just like recreating the Little Mermaid in costumes. Like I just don't like. I don't like the feeling I get when I watch these movies. It's just not a true feeling. Like it's not a movie feeling. Like
one thing I forgot to mention about the Little Mermaid. Javier Bardem in that movie was on a different planet. I think. Dude. I don't know what he was doing or what movie he was in. Terrible. It was not the Little Mermaid.
Terrible. The visuals are terrible in that movie too. Like the vibrancy of the animated film is sucked dry to this muted, tasteless like
the gray underwater.
Yeah, Flounder looks terrible. Like Flounder in the Little Mermaid is like this yellow beacon of light. You know what I'm saying? Like pops onto the fucking screen, and like in this one he's just a fish, and it's just sad. It's
just lazy. Slimy, scaly fish.
Yeah. But yeah, number 2, 65. Yeah, I mean, this is like one of the most disappointing to me because it's a cool concept and it's just an absolute like clusterfuck of like execution. It's terrible. Like I don't know.
It like tried to pull off like the original Planet of the Apes like thing at the end where it's like, oh, when did this actually happen?
Yeah, they just squandered any potential that idea had by making it like. And I assume it's like not a huge budget because they just kind of have like this mid B movie feel to like. 2 characters wandering into a forest, but like I don't know, it just like feels like a studio movie still, so it should be better, but it's not. Like the characters are terrible, the conflict is terrible. Like I don't know, I think I said it in my review before, but like the tech that they're using is like the most interesting part of the movie. Like anytime that he's like and you just like watch the thing go, I'm just like, oh my fucking god, dude. And then like the character shit happens again and you're like, oh,
the
terrible,
little girl
terrible
was so
ending.
Insufferable. It was just such forced chemistry. She didn't have to be there. It could have been his journey as a character. They could have given him an arc. They planted the seed with his family in the beginning, and they could have given him an arc without adding this little girl to force you to be like, feel something. You know?
It's just so forced.
Yeah.
And then the most disappointing movie of the year for me, the worst movie of the year, was a movie called Quasi. It's The Broken Lizard, guys. And I like The Broken Lizard, guys.
Oh shit! I watched that movie too.
Did you really?
It was pretty bad.
It's terrible.
Yeah. I just saw it on Netflix, and I'm like, I just threw it on in the background.
It was.
I totally forgot about that.
I don't know. I mean, Super Troopers 2 is like a shell of what they used to do, and this is like even a step farther of just like unoriginal, crude humor that has no founding in anything like logically funny, and it's taking place in like a time where it's like medieval times, so it's like they're playing on these jokes of like medieval jokes that it's not even an original time. So like it's just like so like 20 years ago that I'm like, what the fuck?
It was also kind of jarring because like each of the crew, they play like two different characters. Yeah. Like all of them play two different characters,
and none of them are
you're
good.
Just like, wait, didn't I just like see this guy as a different character? Like, who is this guy? Like, what the fuck? So like it's just weird.
They're like, in the movie, so that's like the highlight is like that's the broken lizard guys doing the thing, but like holy shit, man, it was just so disappointing to see like what they think is funny. I don't know, man, but yeah, terrible, bad movie, worst of the year for me. So, anyways, on to honorable mentions. Let's start chipping up towards the positive, right?
Yeah.
I'll just go into mine. I'm going to ease up from the bottom. I have Old Dads. It's in my bottom 10 of this year. Also, similar vein to Quasi, I'm kind of surprised that like Bill Burr thinks this movie is funny or like what he wrote was funny. Like,
because I love Bill Burr. Is this your top 10?
No, it's an honorable mention. I just want to like talk about this movie because I just watched it recently. Or like, I don't know. I just wanted to make a note of it, but you can almost feel like Bill Burr's like uncaring attitude in this movie, and it was just disappointing because I was looking forward to the movie, I guess. But anyways, moving on. Beau is Afraid. This is the movie that I've had the most difficulty like finding my rating of this year, and I didn't really like it. But to be quite honest, this movie might move up in my liking in the future if I come to respect it more. We'll see though. Gotcha. Super Mario Brothers movie. It's in my top 20 this year.
Oh damn!
I don't know what that says about me, but it's kind of surprising. I feel like
I would have put that in my top 10.
Really?
Probably. I liked it.
Okay, nice.
Yeah, I'm gonna throw that in here. Actually, yeah.
Super Mario Brothers. Just saw Wonka, and it's like number 18. It probably would move down if I gave it more time. Elemental. Said it before. I think it's better than most people think. Also, the movie that made me cry the most this year. So, Blackberry. Really loved Blackberry's energy as a film. No hard feelings. Just wanted to make note of like a funny original comedy nowadays because it's very rare. And then Evil Dead Rise. Just recently got squeezed out of my top 10. It was in my top 10 for most of the year. It's number 11 now, but I really like that movie. And then just some awards. Dungeons and Dragons, Michelle Rodriguez gets my award for Best Supporting Actress. Yeah.
Damn, I actually like that movie too.
She was the best part of it, and she got me to an emotional state at the end. Never thought Michelle Rodriguez would do that. So, right. Good job. Yeah. I mean, and I was looking at other Best Supporting Actress awards. Like, she's the best. There wasn't that good performances this year, I think.
Do you want us to mention our like awards for? Because I have lead supporting as well, or
if you want, or we just get to it when you talk about the movie or whatever. But just one more note. Even though I didn't think it was a very good movie, I'll just give Cillian Murphy the Best Actor award. Why not? He did pretty good. So that's it.
All right. Yeah. My honorable mentions were Blackberry. I think is close. Glenn Howerton is fucking on fire in that movie. Yeah. I was thinking about giving him like Best Supporting. But
thought about it too.
There's just one we'll get to later on in my top 10 list. I'll bring him up. But another one I want to mention is Infinity Pool. I think that's David Cronenberg's son.
Mm-hmm.
His movie. I don't know. It was just super thought provoking. Like it wasn't like by any means like a perfect movie or a super exciting movie. It just made you think, and it was a wild ride. And I gave my Best Supporting Actress to Mia Goth in that. Mia Goth is something special, so just watch out for her. I think she's great. And the other one is They Clone Tyrone.
Nice.
Yeah, that was just a fun ride. I had almost had Jamie Foxx too. He was in an honorable mention for a supporting role because he was kind of electric in that movie. So
yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Nice. Also, one more I'd like to just mention was Sisu. That was just a fun movie. I mean, it was like John Wick with John Wick in like World War One, World War 2 after, post, I don't know what it was. He was just a guy who mined for gold, and the Germans, World War II, the Germans like wanted his shit, and yeah, it was just a fucking ride.
Nice.
But yeah,
nice.
It was good.
Good shit. I only have 2 honorable mentions because I just didn't see that many movies.
Yeah, I don't have any honorable mentions. Basically because of the same thing.
Yeah, I just didn't get to see as much in the theaters as I would have liked, but my honorable mentions were Cocaine Bear because I don't know, I had an okay time with it. Like it was just ridiculous concept, and I don't know, I had a fun time with it. The idea of drugged out animals just, I don't know, it just gets me for some reason. And then I haven't seen it, but I figured that I would like it, or it might have made my top 10. Is Asteroid City, just because I know I like Wes Anderson, and if I had seen it, it probably would be on there. So I'll watch it and I'll get back to you whether or not it throws a loop in my list. But those are my 2 honorable mentions.
All right.
Yeah, moving into the top 10 then, right?
Oh, yeah.
Let's get it. Who wants to start with the top 10? Number 10.
I replaced my 10 for Mario.
Nice.
Mario's sneaking in.
And do you feel good about this decision? Last minute decision?
Kinda, yeah. I don't know. I liked it.
What'd you kick out?
Actually, Beau's Afraid.
No.
That is why I was like, I don't know. I mean, I was like wondering if that should be in my top 10 anyway. So like,
that's fair.
I don't know.
I like that movie. I like it. I think I respect it, but
yeah, like I kind of felt the same. That's why I put it at 10, because it's like,
yeah,
it definitely had stuff going on. It was just like, I don't like. You probably could have cut out a lot, but it was like at least like really thought provoking.
Yeah,
like it made me think a lot. You know, so
I think it was like everything a Super Mario movie should be, you know.
Oh, sorry, I meant Beau's Afraid.
Oh, sorry.
sorry. But same about the Mario movie. I agree. Like, I feel like it was like kind of everything a Mario movie should be.
Yeah. I don't know what else you could do different. That would be like, that's the best Mario. Like, there's no way. Yeah. So. Yeah, that's actually my number 9 too. Is Super Mario.
I don't know. I heard Guizmo doesn't like the Mario movie or won't watch it. He's taking a stand against it. So. John Leguizamo or whatever.
Oh, that guy takes a stance about every movie, doesn't he?
Yeah, so I'm standing with John on this one. I still haven't seen it.
He's not Luigi.
Fuck you.
He's played Luigi, and is he Italian?
Yeah, he was the original.
Is he actually Italian?
Mexican.
Isn't he Spanish?
Latino. Yeah.
Take a stance somewhere else, bro. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, fuck this guy.
My number 10 was Leave the World Behind. I actually just watched this one. It's the most recent addition to my list, I guess. But
so you liked it, huh?
I liked it a lot. I don't know.
Okay.
So, like I was saying though, to me, I added most of these in my top 10 were movies that felt like special.
Okay.
Or like different. Like to me, like I mean, obviously it's like a Sam Esmail movie, which is exciting to me to watch like his next thing after Mr. Robot.
Yeah.
But it felt pretty original, felt pretty smart to me, even though it's like kind of a simple idea or concept. But I don't know. It felt like, I will say, I'll preface it by saying it's most of these movies in like my first few here are like still 3.5s to me. Like we don't reach 4 stars here, even in my top 10. So like till like a little bit later.
Super mid.
Yeah. So it's not a perfect movie. I'll agree with that 100%. I liked it though. I think like, I like the camera work. I like the characters. I wouldn't say like the camera work is fully justified in every decision, but it was unique.
He was
I guess
still coasting off the Mr. Robot vibe. It felt like in a lot of it.
Just some of the movement, I was just like, why? I don't know, but
no, for sure.
I thought it was like extremely like prescient and foreboding of like a situation that could possibly obviously arise in our future. And it scratches a apocalyptic itch for me that like no movie before has scratched. Like Knock at the Cabin has like this like mystical bend, and then like zombie movies have like obviously their own little flavor to it or whatever. But this one feels like harshly realistic and confusing in like the actual ways that like a societal collapse would be.
Yeah.
Wait, so, what is this movie?
It's called Leave the World Behind. It just came on Netflix like 2 weeks ago, I want to say. But
it's probably Julia Roberts' best like performance in a while too.
She's good. I like Mahershala Ali a lot. So I mean, he carried a lot of the Ethan Hawke.
Shit, dude.
Did really good in it, I thought.
Kevin Bacon.
Kevin Bacon's got a crazy role in it. Yeah.
Dude, like really weird.
Get off my land,
I had just Googled it. I guess. Well, we don't even. I don't know. Do you want me to tell you about the reviews that I just see?
Oh, I mean, this is one of those movies, like I'm saying, it got like political.
You love it or hate it.
Yeah,
you hate it, or
like,
it could be like twisted to be like someone's trying to make me say something about the country here. Like
it looks like it's either like people fucking loved it or hated it, and there's not much in between. Yeah,
I'm the guy in the between there. You know, like I liked it a lot, but it's not a perfect movie. So.
I would say I landed in the in-between. I don't think it really succeeded in a lot of what it was trying to say in terms of like you added certain things that didn't really work. It kind of felt off narrative, but overall, like I just the whole like the animals thing, it just felt like you wanted to add that touch of horror.
I love that.
And it just
touch though. I love the deer. I don't know. It just like sold it for me.
See, I liked the deer, but I wanted more of that stuff rather than like the conversations between the characters felt like that was what the story needed, or that's what the story was, and then the animal portions of it, right? And I wanted one or the other. Give me more of one or the other.
That's fair.
And honestly, I would prefer the horror side of it, but that's just because I love horror. So
I liked the subtleness of like the deer, and then I did not really like the scene at the end where they all show up and like confront them.
Yeah, that was weird.
I didn't really like that scene. I wish it was executed a little better.
Successful.
But when
all
she's
the
like
deer show up.
Yes, when she's turning on the lights though, and like you see them out in like just the yard and stuff like that, I'm just like
the one scene when you just see them in the background, like their glowing eyes, was fantastic.
Right.
But yeah,
and the flamingos I thought was pretty cool. It's just like weird nature. Obviously, like patterns are shifting, and like it's a metaphor for like nature reclaiming its like land and blah blah blah. Anyways,
it's kind of like The Happening. But
better.
But animals instead of planes.
I mean, really, it's not. I don't know. To me, it feels very harshly realistic,
right? Except like fungi instead of.
Maybe we're talking about the animals too much. This is what I'm saying. It's just so. It's
very human based.
It's a subplot.
But then there's like imagery that is like telling you these things through like animal.
Right.
Sure.
I don't know. There's some sequences in this movie though that are extremely like bold and in your face that to me totally work too. I don't know, like some of the like end of the world transportation scenes without spoiling stuff.
Trains?
No trains.
Planes?
Maybe planes.
Automobiles?
But that shit, I don't know, like for like the level of budget it probably had to go that bold and big to me is like that. Thank you, Sam Esmail. Like you're actually trying some crazy shit with what you got, and I respect it. And to me, the cut to credits, I fucking loved it. It worked for me.
Did you like the
absolutely
the Friends theme?
I mean,
fuck yeah.
It just like it scratches the itch in my heart too, because if I pan like over here, like this is my collection. So like it like is saying things that I want to hear. So that's why I like I like the movie.
That's what I really enjoyed about it too. Like when she's describing why she cares so much about Friends, I was like, this moves me because this is how I feel about not just Friends, but like I have all my favorite media on hard copy for this purpose because I like to just have it. It's mine, and I can. Yeah. So it's just So that part of the movie I really like. That's what I resonated with. So
I love that. I love the like witty. What he was saying at the end, I totally was on board for. So it made my top 10 just because I've been thinking about it more than most other movies this year too. So I check it out if you haven't checked it out yet. Give it a watch.
I've heard people talk about it, so I was like, definitely, I'm even more interested now. I didn't even know it was like a post-apocalyptic premise.
It's interesting, and it doesn't leave you. I'll just preface like it doesn't leave you maybe where you want, but to me, the fun of it left me where I want it to be. So
cool.
My number 10 was Guy Ritchie's The Covenant.
I missed this one this year.
Yeah, it was out of Guy Ritchie's norm. which I think benefited in a lot of ways. But yeah, it was just fun. I mean, Jake Gyllenhaal brought it. I don't know who the supporting. Let me see what his name was. Salam. The translator that's with him was very good in it. I mean, they had a great chemistry together. It was just a successful war movie that was like had something to say, and it didn't waver on what it was trying to say. I don't know. It was just confident in what it was, so it was good. I liked it.
Yeah, I'll get around to it eventually, I think.
Yeah.
Flew under the radar a little bit this year, I'd say.
It definitely did, yeah.
My number 10 was Knock at the Cabin. Yeah, I mean, I thought it was one of the better Shyamalan, in his filmography, and I didn't expect Bautista to sort of like carry the performance and the story along as well as he did. So like, props to him.
Nice.
Yeah, I was like, it kept me captivated the whole time. I thought it was like pretty good commentary on stuff, and again, I had a hard time filling out my list with stuff I had actually seen. So I was like, you know what?
It's just one that you saw this year too, also.
Essentially, yeah.
I see. We still on 10? Got any more times?
I had Mario.
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 Oh yeah, Mario. Yeah.
All right,
well, that's my number
9
too.
All
yeah.
right.
So
nice.
I saw it twice in theaters. Once once with you, I think, Matt,
Maybe.
and then just once as like a date because it was like an easy date movie. Just go see Mario.
Mario?
Yeah, why not? Like
everybody loves Mario.
Everyone's heard of Mario. Yeah,
everybody's played it, right?
I'd do that. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like if your taste. If you don't like, that was like a taste, test where it's like, if you can't really enjoy Mario, like,
I don't know if we can hang out.
It ain't gonna work. Like, yeah. So,
all right.
But yeah, that's my 9.
I mean, we can make jokes about Chris Pratt, but as long as you enjoy the movie,
Yeah, right. His broke ass Italian accent.
Yeah. My number 9.
But Jack Black runs away with it. That's the last thing I
great
say.
casting.
Yeah.
My number 9 is a movie called Missing. This movie that's been in my top 10 since January. It stayed in all year, and it was one of the most surprising movies of my top 10, I'd say. It's just like, it's a thriller, mystery, suspense movie, but it's told all through screens and like recording devices and stuff like that. I haven't seen the movie Searching, so like the novelty of this idea is still kind of fresh on me, so maybe that's why it was so good this year. But I think it's a super fresh take on like the found footage idea. And this specific movie was paced so well. Like it like kept you on the edge the whole time, and surprisingly was like ahead of you. Like it's a way smarter movie than I was like going in expecting, and had me the whole time. The third act devolves to a level that almost tanks the movie, I'd say, but I got out of it and I was like, whatever. It's just third act schlock, and there's movies that are way worse at third act trash than that. So I think the surprising level of this movie is why I moved it in my top 10. Number 9. So
my number 9 was Rise. You mentioned it earlier, Matt. This has been pretty much in this spot since I saw it. I mean, I love Evil Dead, and I think this was a great addition to the Evil Dead universe. So
cool.
I can see it.
Chunky.
I'm still very curious about it.
Oh, sorry. Did I cut out?
Or is that just me? I guess it might just be me.
For what? I didn't.
What's up? You were fine.
Yeah,
I guess it might just be me.
Well,
but yeah, I agree.
Leading role, I put I had Alyssa Sutherland as like she's a contender. She's my runner up for leading role. She plays the mom in this, and the way she like her body, the way she does in this movie is just kind of crazy, and she sells it hard. So it was good.
She like a contortionist or something? Like, is there something?
In this movie, she is. I don't know about real life, but yeah. But yeah, fun movie. Really enjoyed this one. Number 9, Evil Dead Rise.
Nice.
Right on.
Yeah, number 9, I have The Killer.
Decent.
All right.
Yeah.
It was a movie I had seen.
Hey.
But also, I feel like, I don't know, it just kind of fit here on my list.
Yeah, Nice.
I don't know. I mean, it was fine, but also like, I think just like thinking about it more, I think I've come to understand it where he's just not a good killer.
He's so full of
shit.
Yeah, he's so full of shit. Like, I feel like that. I don't know. I would assume that that's like what Fincher had in mind for this, like what you're supposed to get as the viewer. But like, I don't. Even if it's not, like that's how I would like to take it because I feel like it's just like,
he's super
it just
unreliable.
makes it. Yeah.
Nice.
That's actually my 8 as well. The Killer.
What the fuck?
Yeah.
Back to back. Well, I'll talk about Killer later. It's a little bit higher for me.
Sure.
Same.
What's your 8, Alex?
My 8 was Godzilla -1.
Interesting.
I just think at its core, this isn't like it's a monster movie, but I think it's more than just that. Like what it has to say about like the consequences of war and the fucking around with nuclear weapons. I think this went back to like what Godzilla was supposed to represent before Lionsgate or whoever the fuck Legendary Pictures took over and just made it this like cartoony bullshit. Yeah. So it just felt like it was trying to say something, and it successfully said something, in my opinion, about all of that good stuff. So yeah, very good acting performances throughout. I think the little baby girl in it was fucking phenomenal. Like I don't know where they pulled this infant from.
Wow, because like coming out of the movie with my friends, we're like, oh, great acting, except that little girl, fucking terrible.
No, she was
so bad. Like
she was so good.
She was so cute, but like, yeah, I don't know, like
and the way she like held things out. I don't know. I was just like, this. I like this little. I guess it just reminded me of my son, so maybe that's why I'm a little partial.
Because she was definitely like super cute little kid. But yeah, I don't know. Maybe I don't know.
Overall, though, no, this was actually a great monster movie, but also
I was excited
more to
see
say. So
yeah, that's cool. It's good to hear that a Godzilla movie is still doing that or trying to do that. Yeah, I'm a big fan of Godzilla in general, so yeah,
made some decent money over here too. It's cool to see like a Japanese version taking hold a little bit more.
Yeah, and recently it opened up in more theaters just because it's been doing so well. So
I can see that.
It's kind of cool.
Yeah, the theater I went to was like pretty much packed.
Yeah,
it was almost full. So
nice.
Same.
It's telling.
Well, my number 8 was a movie I saw back in the summer. It is Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3, and still 3. We're at 3.5 serious. We're not in the 4 stars yet, but this is the last vestige of superhero quality in our time. Like,
yeah, absolutely.
Especially I would agree with that.
And all credit goes to James Gunn and his sensibilities. I still think he's one of the best like creators working right now. He makes mass entertainment at a confidence level that 30 blockbusters below this would kill to have. Like, it just flows through him, like out of him onto the page. Like, and every blockbuster superhero movie has been imitating him for the last 10 years, and they can't do it. So like,
for sure. It's just because like his level of like care, he actually like cares to tell
he cares about the
story
characters
within the superhero. He
cares about he cares about what he's making too. Like he doesn't like shy away from like the weirdness of it too, which is great. And
some might say that he kind of ruined the MCU just because everyone tried to replicate like his comedy and like they tried to just be like, let's put this in every movie.
Yeah, he ruined it and then just bailed.
Yeah, I feel like Taika definitely like ripped some for Thor and stuff. Yeah,
he's extracted some DNA there from what he did, but
the difference is he knows how to use it, and all these other writers and directors, they just don't have it.
And he can always get back to the heart of the character, even if he says the joke. Like he can always nail it at the end, which all the other superheroes are like, we did enough work, right? They should care at the end. No, you didn't do the work. So
no, you're just plucky and missing the mark.
That's not enough. Yeah. But yeah, specifically the third movie, I guess, it's like the second best in the trilogy. Probably it has a lot of heart, a lot of emotion, says a message clearly to you that you probably should hear. Has still the magic there. The dance scene at the end I thought was pretty cathartic. So it's top 10 for me. It's a pretty good movie still.
Oh, yeah. I listened to a podcast with him talking about like him heading up the DC universe now, and this guy got the way he talks about it, man. It's got me excited.
That's I'm on board. I'll see.
Yeah.
And now that this other one's about to like have its last legs, the DCU or whatever, like
I think I'm out.
You're out.
I don't know.
I'm ready for James Gunn's version. That's the only thing I'm in for. So
I don't know. I think I'm just like, why would you even continue these other movies? Like, why wouldn't you just fucking cancel that shit?
I think they are
Money?
mostly.
Money.
The only other ones that they're keeping are probably like Batman.
But like, why? Like before
Joker,
the Flash came out, even like they knew that they were just rebooting all of this shit, but they still decided to release like the Flash, Shazam, and Aquaman.
Yeah,
I
the
think they're
Flash.
just
Like,
too deep.
why?
Like,
Like,
I get like Aquaman and stuff a little bit more, but like the Flash was already like they were already considering mixing. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know why.
That movie like was being made for 10 years, and they just finally
Yeah.
pooped it out.
oh, and Blue Beetle, I guess too. I didn't even add that one. Except that one might. I guess that guy might be in the new.
Oh,
shit.
that one's
I
legit.
think that's going to continue.
Oh, okay.
I don't know. I guess. Like,
That one?
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Anyway, my number 8 is Mission Impossible.
Nice.
Yes.
I thought it was fine. Like, it was good, but I don't know. Honestly, I don't think this needed to be 2 parts.
Yeah.
100%.
I mean, it
Too
left
much
it
key
feeling
talk.
a little incomplete.
Yeah.
Part one, so
But overall, I mean, it was good, you know, and it was nice because I just binged all of them before watching this. So, like, I don't know. It was
You got
kind of
the
like
full
a
experience.
ride for me. Yeah,
Yeah.
it was cool.
It actually booted out of my top 10 when I was just making this list recently. I liked it a lot, and then I just like the more time that has passed, I just don't care about it, and it didn't do as much as I thought it did. I think
that's fair. It's like faded in my memory more than I expected it to. So I feel that.
All right.
Gotta defend it later.
We'll talk about it later. Yeah, we'll talk about it later.
Are we into 7? Are we still on 8?
Yeah.
7s? Who's got 7?
Shit, I don't know. I put Killers of the Flower Moon, but I haven't actually seen that, so I put an asterisk next to it.
What the hell,
I didn't have enough movies.
I'm surprised you think it's like 7 and not just like 10. You know what I'm saying? Like you placed it.
I should have probably just done that. Yeah, I don't know. Fucking no.
Nice.
I had Beau's Afraid on my list. I feel like I wanted to put that lower than these.
That's
like,
true.
Yeah.
Because I have one other movie that on my list that I haven't seen. It's the next one. So.
Is Killers on your list, Alex? I'm just curious.
Yeah, it's coming up on the list. Yeah.
That is one of the most like profoundly confusing movies of the year for me. It's bottom 30. So.
Yeah.
Well, my number 7 is The Equalizer 3.
Denzel.
And in this one, I give Denzel the best acting for a leading role. I think he killed it. Like,
did he equalize it this time?
Yeah, he
equalized.
The first one is like it has a special because this came out and then like the first John Wick came out and these were like movies I played on repeat when like one right after the other, rapid fire all the time. And then the second one for Equalizer came out and it was pretty good. I mean, it was fun. And this one came out and it just felt more grounded and Denzel's character felt like a real person. And I was just with his character in this one. It was good. I really enjoyed it. It was a very good experience for me.
I haven't seen any of the Equalizers, but I know I'd enjoy them. I feel like I would.
He brings such an intensity in this third one that it's just like, damn, Denzel still got it. He might be one of the most entertaining movie stars that we have alive right now. So
that's fair.
The man's a thespian. The man's a powerhouse. Yeah.
Yeah.
He's really like raw. He just fucking puts it out there.
I'm just fucking around.
He's
being Henri. God damn it, you antagonistic.
So yeah, number 7 was Equalizer 3. Check it out.
My number 7 was Wonka. Recently seen it.
Get the fuck out of here.
I like my chocolate, god damn it. All right. What can I say? I'm the candy man. No, it just had a lot of good callbacks to like the Gene Wilder one, which is just like always had a special place growing up in my heart, and it was still like original. And I like music. Like I'm down for a good musical, you know, if the music's good. And
it's funny they didn't market it as a musical. I wonder why.
I know. I had no idea it was a musical until we got to the theater.
Likes musicals. Nobody's gonna be like, let's go see a Wonka musical. No, they're gonna go see a Willy Wonka movie.
Yeah.
As soon as you say it's a musical, that cuts your audience in half.
I guess, but if you watch the original It's
I
a
guess that is,
musical.
yeah.
It's a
And
musical.
people just
I
don't
wasn't
think
Johnny
it is.
Depp.
It's like immediately
I
what popped into my head is like the fucking song, like Pure
Your
Imagination.
imagination.
Like,
I
Sure,
yeah,
haven't seen.
Charlie.
I don't think I've seen any of them all the way through. So
Really?
I've got a
I just
golden ticket.
yeah.
Yeah, it's
That
all
original
music.
is like a piece of my childhood, like
Yeah, for
catalogs.
sure. And it was like it wasn't like in your face those callbacks. It was just like little musical cues.
Going up and
Munching
down
on
the
the cup.
steps.
Strike that, reverse it. Even got that line in there. I was like, nice. So it's my 7. I had a good time watching it. I feel like it could have been the corporate cash grab. So and it
Could have
didn't
been
feel
way
like
worse
that.
for
So,
sure.
yeah.
sure.
Yeah. All right, shut the
My
fuck up, Joe.
number
We all know
7.
how it started as a cash grab.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
My number 7 is They Clone Tyrone. Actually got higher on the list than I thought it would before I watched it.
Nice.
One of the most fun scripts of the year, I think. Like one of the better. Like the first half of that movie is just so much fucking fun, dude. It's so fucking good.
Yeah, for sure.
Second half dips a little bit, but then it picks it up at the end, so it won me over at the end. Just knows what it's trying to be. The blaxploitation, like, let me see if I can say this word correctly. The blaxploitation elements of the movie felt like pretty like perfectly combined. Like I don't know, it just like everything feels like it all combined perfectly in that movie, like with the style and the substance of everything that's happening. Jamie Foxx, Tiana Paris killed it, absolutely killed it. Standouts in the film. John Boyega did pretty good too. And this movie is where my 4 stars like officially start. I gave it 4. It's just
I think that's what I gave it to.
Unique, original, and fun. And number 7.
Cool. Yeah, my number 6 is the one that I also haven't seen. I put it down as Barbie.
Oh.
I don't know.
But you think it's better than Killers?
I kind of want to like it. I don't know. Yeah. I feel like I'd probably like it more than Killers of the Flower Moon. Like, do you think I'm gonna enjoy watching a 4-hour movie, regardless of what it is? Like,
yes,
Scorsese
probably not.
Yes,
especially not Scorsese for me. I know he makes good shit, but like, it's not really for me. I mean, like, I don't know. Look, I like The Departed. I know it's good, but do I leave with a good feeling after watching it?
yes.
Fuck
Every
no,
time.
I don't.
Really? Yeah, you don't.
I do.
Yeah?
I leave and I'm like, turn it back on. Run it back.
Mark Wahlberg was really the dick all along. Cool.
Knew it.
Yeah. All right, cool. My number 6, I'll just keep going, I guess. Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse. This one, it was originally higher and it's kind of chipped its way down a little bit over time. Got to give it a rewatch, but when I watched it in the summer, it shot to the top of the list pretty easily. Carries a lot of the DNA and the magic over. Not all of it, but most of it. The end drops you off a cliff in a way that is leaving a bad taste in my mouth the more that we like go on. But I just want to see.
It's not a complete movie.
Not at all. I just want to see the second part to complete the 2 dots, and draw the line between them. But
it's almost like offensively not a complete movie. Like they didn't even try to like give you some resemblance of an end. It just
to go 2.5. That's like to go 2.5 hours of like meandering to not even really know like where the story's going is kind of
clean it up and give us something to end. Like you can leave a cliffhanger, but give us something to end on.
Yeah,
I mean, I'm not a huge fan of these movies to begin with, but respect us enough. We love your audience loves these movies, and you do this to them in the end. It's just kind of like a slap in the face because they know people are going to come back, so they can do whatever the fuck they want.
Exactly.
But
I mean, clearly
they know they're going to keep coming to see these Wonka movies.
They just thought that like him finding like the nega version of himself in the other like that they thought that was enough to sell you, but it's not. It's just not. So like
it's not. It's like oh gasp, it's him. Oh.
You could have done something else, and it would have been a better experience. But
yeah,
I liked
sorry
it.
Not to shit on your list here.
I mean, I get it. That's why I said it's moving down. The artistry is there, the fun's there. I love the characters still. Obviously, I love the world. I like the villain a lot too. I thought that was an original villain, the polka dot guy or whatever. But that first movie is like elevated to a status of quality that I was worried that they would cheapen. I wouldn't say they cheapened it, but now I have to think about this one too, which you fucked me. I mean, you did it yourself, so whatever. I mean, it's top 10, so you did enough. But
that's fair. My number 6 was Oppenheimer. I know this is a fan favorite here amongst you guys.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
I figured it'd be in your guys' top 10s, and I've accepted it.
It's not my only 3-hour movie in my top 10s, but I don't know. I think that Christopher Nolan is finally speaking my language or something, because his last 2 movies are finally like.
Bro, we're speaking different languages, man, because he's starting to be like, "What are you saying, bro?" Like,
wait, you mean this in Tenet? Is that like?
Yeah, gotcha. Yeah, I really like.
I actually haven't seen Tenet, but yeah, I don't know. I should definitely watch that.
It rules. It's a bottom line. Tenet rules, and this movie also rules. So I liked it a lot. I mean,
think Tenet's more of like a technical flex than anything, but
the man has no emotion anymore. Like, what happened? He has nothing to like tether you to.
Did he ever have emotion, Matt?
At least in Inception, he cared about his dead wife.
Right. Interstellar was such trash, and they tried so hard to make it about something.
Decent.
And
I
then
like the movie. It's not.
I like Interstellar.
Yeah, I'm not on that boat. But yeah, anyway, Oppenheimer. I think Christopher Nolan's finally in my veins. I like it. I think this is finally like. It's weird that my top 10s, like I have my star ratings. Like this is a 4.5, almost a 5-star for me, just because I think it's very successful in what it's doing. Technically, I think the story is good. Like telling this guy's, it's sort of starting with his beginning of his life and going through the motions. And you take this, and then there's the one I watched recently. Maestro, where Maestro was like an unsuccessful version of Oppenheimer, where it's telling this guy's story, but it's hitting the important notes, kind of like Oppenheimer when he's younger and then going through the motions. I just think Oppenheimer was a successful version of that. Just telling that story.
Yeah.
Maybe it was because it was 3 hours and it had time to expand on it and give us what we needed. But yeah, overall, that was And for a supporting role, Josh Hartnett takes the cake for me. I need more Josh Hartnett in my life. He was fantastic in it. So
nice. Well, I appreciate the words. Like, I like the passion.
That's my 5. If just to put that out there, is Oppenheimer. It's middle of my list, and it's good. But my 6 is Barbie.
Oh,
at least Oppenheimer beat
Barbie.
Yeah. Your 6 is Barbie.
Well, I haven't actually seen it though.
Oh yeah, that's right.
My number 5 is Barbie. So.
Interesting. Okay. Yeah, I mean, I just had a good time. I just had a good time in the theater with this one. Yeah. This one, it's like the pinnacle of like how this movie made me feel more than some of the other ones, and it just made me feel good. So,
sure. Yeah. I actually rewatched this one when it came on Max because I felt like this is one that I had to. I'm gonna rewatch Oppenheimer too, and come at it with some fresh. I'm not just gonna come at it with just like my dickish view or whatever, but it might erupt. It might just come out naturally in watching that movie.
Yeah.
But I want to like it more, so I'll give it a watch, and I do want to watch it again. But anyways, Barbie, I rewatched it, and the love grew. I was scared that I wouldn't like it as much the second time, but it actually elevated higher for me. That movie, I think, is going to age better. Well, I don't know. It's going to be better in the future than it is than people think. Like it's going to age better. It's going to be more timeless than I think people are giving it credit for, even though it feels like it's saying something specifically right now. I think it's like saying smart things that people need to hear still, and that won't ever get old. But
on the contrary, I just felt like it didn't know what it was saying, so that's why I kind of like.
I mean, it has a lot to say about like human nature in this time, in my opinion. Like men and women,
know
obviously,
where it wanted to take a stance. You know. It just didn't feel like it knew where it wanted to like confidently stand and say this.
The credit goes to that, like because I feel like a dumber movie would have just taken all of Barbie's ideas and tropes and just made a stupid movie. And like Greta Gerwig is why this movie is good. Her voice and vision provides the backbone to those amalgamation of ideas. And the fact that she doesn't have the answer by the end of the movie, I guess there's answers to me, but like. Sure. To me, she's like saying that she's frustrated with life and male and female situations and like expressing that. And by the end of it, like to me, she like lets Barbie's hands go as like a way to just like send the message on to the viewer as like, now it's you, I let you go. Here you go. To take it what you will or whatever. But No, I mean it's sloppy in ways, and it's very like harsh in ways that if you're like, it can like jolt you if you like don't want to hear that shit or whatever. But I mean,
No,
to me,
yeah,
it's
that's a
relevant.
good way to look at it, for
Yeah.
sure.
I mean, the set design, it's got the best production design, best costume design, in my opinion. And I'm honestly
Yeah,
going
I
to give
can't argue
Margot
with that.
Robbie the Best Actress award because this watch through too is like, she brings life to Barbie, obviously, but that character actually has a progression in that movie. Like she starts one way and
Yeah.
becomes a real human, and she shows that whole journey, and you feel it actually if you watch it like more intently. Um, I don't know. Yeah, I just think Greta Gerwig made like one of the most like profound, witty things this year, and it's like an artistic statement while also being this
Yeah.
mass at the literally the biggest stage possible in the world. So it's just kind of this cool balance.
Yeah, it really strikes like the whole symbolism thing without, like you said, falling into the tropes of those symbolism, like the Barbie symbol. So yeah, I dig that movie, man. I think I
It's so
will
much fun
always.
too. I mean, just
Yeah,
funny.
yeah,
Ryan
yeah.
Gosling obviously killing it. I mean, the jokes are there.
Mhm.
It's just solid in my opinion. It's rewatchable too, in my opinion too. So
Yeah,
it's fun.
yeah, for sure.
What you guys got for fives then? Still, are we on five?
Oppenheimer.
I
That's
got
my five.
Guardians of the Galaxy just
Hey.
because I kind of ran out of stuff.
At the
I
end of
love
this,
the
Josie's gonna be just like
confidence.
saying books. He's like,
To be
I
honest,
don't
though,
have
like,
movies anymore.
look, it was like a Marvel movie that actually made me feel something.
Yeah,
in the last couple of years. So, like,
Definitely.
and in my book, that's
hard to
good.
come by now.
Yeah,
Yeah,
definitely hard to come
Yeah,
by.
it's
Yeah,
rare,
yeah,
sadly.
yeah,
that is very
yeah.
rare. I mean, like, well, I guess there's only two Disney things on my worst list, but I did have the Marvels on here, but it's a
Scratch
shitty
it off.
honorable mention. I haven't actually seen it, so
Not me either. We on to number 4 then, or what?
Well, my number 5 was my 1 through 5s is where it kind of started getting like I was
hairy.
making moves like the past like 3 days, just shifting everything, and I finally found something where I can sleep tonight soundly. But my number 5 was The Killer. I really enjoyed it.
Nice.
I think it's one of my favorite of Fincher's. I think I have it in like my top 5 of his. So I really like it. I think it's a solid, like, it's an easy standard plot, and it's got the Fincher touch where you can tell how much care he put into it. And Michael Fassbender is amazing in it. So
Nice. That's my number 4. I'll just say that. And
nice.
The second rewatch really brought the endearing nature of it to me, and why it's top 5 for me. I'm kind of surprised it is, honestly, but it's like subtle but great, this movie, and it feels like one of the most complete packages of a movie that we had this year. Is like it's actually like a completed vision. Like there it is,
Yeah.
But yeah. So other we talked about it before, but yeah,
I'm
it's gonna be a movie I
curious,
rewatch too. So
on your guys' like rewatches of it, did it become more satirical to you? Like
yes,
knowing that it's okay, because I feel like
absolutely.
that's what it like. I would experience that more rewatching it too.
The first time I felt it was a little bit dry and just like,
Mhm.
is Fincher on top of this, or is it just like,
Mm-hmm.
Right.
is he that smart on it? Or, but then the second time I just gave him more credit, I think, and I was just like, okay,
Started to hit those notes. Yeah.
So
Cool.
top 5, number 4.
Nice.
Oh, yeah.
Piggyback off that, my number 4. Everyone did their number 5, right?
I think so.
Yeah.
Okay, my number 4 was John Wick 4, Chapter 4. I love an action movie, and this has got some of my favorite sequences of the year. One being that top-down shot of him just using the dragon's breath. I mean, that was fucking incredible.
Yeah,
I mean, I was alive in that moment. It was great. I love the John Wick franchise. I think that it's a super interesting world, and I love to be a part of it every time. So, I know this isn't on your guys' like favorites type thing, but it just hits a spot for me that gets me all warm and fuzzy inside.
Nice.
I think also just like, I don't know, Keanu Reeves as a person, I feel like I don't know. He's
like
just a cool dude, like, I don't know. I like to support him, even though I haven't seen really any of the John Wick movies, but
dude, I found out today actually that someone broke into Keanu's house
Oh shit!
And the only thing they stole
And
was
killed his dog.
no, yeah. No, they just stole a gun from the John Wick series. Like that's all they took.
Wow.
Just a gun.
Dick move.
I know, right? I was like, all
That's
right, so
not.
he is
Why
gonna
would you
hunt you
mess with
down.
that dude?
Yeah, you know what happens.
He's any.
That's
He
I'm
right.
hasn't
thinking
even,
I'm back.
piece of the wiki sided.
Yeah. Yes. I'll go to my 4. My 4 is Guardians 3. I mean, for all the aforementioned reasons. Yeah, I mean, I think I'm just in with the James Gunn shit, you know? He's just like a fucking phenomenal storyteller and writer and director. He's got it all. I mean, especially after watching like Peacemaker and Suicide Squad, it's like those have just verified like his pedigree. He just got it. Got some magic.
I agree.
But yeah. And the emotional, you know, heart, like you were saying, Joe. It's all there. But yeah, that's my 4.
We into 3? Top 3s? You got 4?
My 4 was Asteroid City, which now that like I am going over this, I feel like I probably ranked this too high. But I don't know. I feel like I'm a sucker for Wes Anderson stuff. So
Me too.
I don't know. Like I feel like there was still like a couple times in this where like I don't know, I really enjoyed it, but I guess like for the majority of the movie, I was kind of just like I don't know. It was like almost hard to get through, I guess. It definitely didn't feel the same as like most of Wes Anderson's other stuff, but
it's kind of choppy.
It still had like good stuff to it, but yeah, overall, I don't know. It was okay, I guess. Even though I ranked it 4 on my list,
It was fine.
Yeah, I wanted to like it more. It's Wes Anderson, so it's a quality for sure. But it's hard to top some of his other stuff.
Yeah.
My 3 was Spider-Man.
Hey, nice.
Yeah. I don't really have anything to say about
still
it.
Got the oomph
that hasn't already been said. Yeah.
My number 3, piggybacking off that one, I guess, is the new Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Mutant Mayhem. It's actually higher on the list of like compared to Spider-Verse, which I didn't think that would be the case, but it's obviously inspired by that.
I remember you really liked it like back when it came out.
Check it out.
And you were talking about how it was like better than Spider-Verse.
I like it. I mean, it's got more heart and style right now.
And that the clips alone sort of like I was like, damn, this like seems really good.
It's like, it's
is it like on streaming stuff right now?
I don't think yet. Maybe I don't know yet, but actually it might be. I don't know. But yeah, I don't know. Just like a good modern retelling, like reimagining of these characters. They're like all young, and you can tell that they're like actually like vibing on this like kid level, teenage, obviously teenage mutant ninja turtle. You know, like the style's badass. The villains are grimy and weird, and like they haven't really been like featured as in the Ninja Turtles lore. So you get to like kind of meet them all and see the different weird ass like the main villain is Superfly, and I think I want to say he's Ice Cube. He's just like this beefy like fly who's like mutated or whatever.
Nice.
So really good voice acting, really good fun. Yeah, I don't know. I just had like a way better time than I thought I would, and the movie is just like on top of it and smart. So yeah, liked it.
It's streaming on Paramount Plus. If you're wondering, Joe.
I heard that Paramount and HBO now are talking some business.
Did you see that A24 and HBO they're gonna exclusively?
I like that.
Yeah, release. Yeah, hell yeah. HBO stands above in their streaming service. They reign supreme.
Indeed.
I saw a trailer for that A24 movie about the wrestlers.
Yeah,
I'm pumped for that.
Yeah, Iron Claw. Yeah.
Was that your number 3, Matt?
3.
Yeah, my number 3 was Killers of the Flower Moon. I really liked. I think Scorsese's in a sweet spot for me. I like this one a lot. This was one of my more enjoyable times at the theater this year. I mean, my mom fell asleep next to me watching it, so I don't know if she enjoyed it.
Did too.
Yeah,
some people walked out too.
Yes,
that's really. Yeah. Well, I really liked it. I think that the way Scorsese handled the story, I think he did it pretty gracefully, in my opinion. The end note was like a perfect way for him to end the movie, I think. It was super unique too. Like when it ended, that was like it reinvigorated me for the final moments because it was just such a unique way to put a cap on it. Kind of like old time modern media esque thing where they tell you the story that you want to hear, that that the media wants to. Anyway, it was just cool, super unique. Really liked this one. I think Robert De Niro really brought the heat. I think he killed it in this. Lily Gladstone made a great performance, really like muted, kind of like stoic. Yeah, it was good. I liked it a lot.
Nice.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, the ending
It was the
least
punchy. It felt the least Scorsese of Scorsese movies, which maybe worked better for me just because it felt kind of fresh for him. So in terms of like the directing style, like it still had flares of it, of Scorsese in there, but it felt like the most toned down of his. So
I can see that.
Yeah. I'm gonna do a last minute switch because I had Across the Spider-Verse as my 2, but I think I'm gonna bump it down to 3 because I saw something last night that deserves to be higher. So Across will be my 3. I don't know. I don't have as many. I don't have like, for some. Maybe it just didn't like frustrate me, I guess, as much as maybe it frustrated you guys to be left where we were left. I do agree. Like where we were left is kind of like lackluster, but I don't know. It had a lot that it was like trying to fit in with the whole, what society of Spider-Men and traveling between dimensions and trying to keep everything in line, policing like the Spider-Man storyline. So I don't know. That was like struck me as like the main focus rather than just like Miles' own particular story, which is like what we're left with at the end, kind of more so. But I also think it did a good job with Spider-Gwen. I think it like put a little bit more focus on her, and I didn't mind that. So, but yeah, that's my 3.
So what's your 2?
My 2, as of last night, my first Studio Ghibli movie ever, The Boy and the Heron. God damn, dude! I like the animation is beautiful. That movie particularly just felt like very trippy. It was like super trippy. But it's like got such great themes, dude. It's like dealing with like loss and grief and like growth, like in the sense of like what you're willing to let go and like whether you should stay and hang on to things. And yeah, it just hit home for me. I was like super impressed. I didn't expect to like it as much as I did, and now I'm just like craving more Studio Ghibli. So
nice.
Yeah, it's up there.
Cool.
Yeah.
Gotta check that one out still.
Yeah, I do too.
So we're into 2s then for everybody?
Yeah.
We are.
Well, my number 2 is Scream 6, and kind of shocked this one's still number 2. Yeah.
Get the fuck out of here, dude. What?
This
Scream
one's been
6? If it was Scream 5, I would agree with you.
I don't like Scream 5.
That's so fucking weird to me.
I don't think Scream 5 is very good, but I think Scream 6 is a lot better. I think it's like one of those better entries in the franchise. I'm curious.
So why do you think it was good?
I mean,
or why is it number 2 on your list?
Yeah, I mean, as far as horror movies go, one of the better ones I watch. It's my favorite horror franchise too, so that probably sells a little bit of why it's top 10 for me. But I don't know. The kills are always good. The writing's always witty, but this one obviously is on pace for what they're doing in Scream. And in Scream 5, they basically create a whole new narrative and a whole new cast of like characters. I didn't really like the intros and like how those resolved, but the way that they like built on those main characters in 6 felt like a natural, actual like conclusion to what they're saying with these characters. With like the end being at the theater, and it's like the family coming. I don't know, it's with I guess spoilers, but like basically it comes full circle with the killers every time. But this one felt even more full circle in ways that was like, this feels like it needs to be a Scream in this Scream franchise, whereas other movies are just like, that's another Scream. But yeah, what you saw this one?
I guess in my opinion, I feel like you said it comes like full circle. I feel like it was just like too obvious, or just like too, I don't know, it was just like too meta almost. Like, I don't know. I feel like it's just getting to be too much at this point. Like,
No.
we're just not, it's just not good anymore, in my opinion. But
that's fair.
I
Yeah,
don't
I
know.
mean, it's
Like,
getting to be a
when you
lot.
just keep doing the same thing over and over, and you don't really change it, it's just like, I don't know.
To me,
Which I guess
Scream
is
is
like
the
a lot of horror
only. Well, that's
franchises, but like,
Scream is the only horror franchise that even slightly changes the formula or tries to keep it fresh. Because every other movie, it's like you got the main killer that you know
and I
exactly
mean,
who
they
behind the mask
reference
is.
that throughout the entire fucking movie. Like,
Right.
it's like so meta. Like, I don't know.
That's why I love those movies, because they're smart and they know what they're doing most of the time. But
I mean, like, in this one, I felt like they just tried to be smart by throwing all the shit out there. But it's like, when you reference the fact that like this could happen or this could happen, then it like, I feel like when, I don't know, I don't really like that for, like, it's like the same thing with like anime sometimes, where they just like over explain to make something seem smart. And I feel like that's just like not, you could just actually be smart about it instead of like over explaining. You know what I mean?
I mean, in Scream, they do a lot of like huddling together, being like, well, you could be the killer. No, you could be the killer. And usually one of them's the killer. And it's like, why would you ever do these situations?
I feel like it's just, well, yeah, never mind. I don't want to keep shitting on it.
No, I mean,
it just seems like it was like every scene is when they do that. Is why it just really,
I mean, to me, I guess I'm just on board for the Scream movies too. That's why they stay with me.
To be honest, the first one is like so fucking good. The first one is probably like, it might be my favorite horror movie like ever.
Same. And the fourth one I really love, and the sixth one I think is my third favorite now. So I don't know. This one just landed for me more than 5 did last year. So I think I just appreciated it more too. Just, I guess, final note, it's unfortunate that the franchise is like basically tanking itself now, right as it's starting to like be something good.
I saw
what's her name so
is like basically ditching it to keep doing
Wednesday.
Yeah,
they fired the main girl because of comments, and then basically Jenna Ortega was just like, okay, later. So like, you fucked up. You had your 2 big stars there, and you let them both go. So whatever. But at least
once again,
with 6,
Hollywood
I can say it's kind of
a dog.
Yeah, exactly. But number 2, I'm shocked too. But like I said, movies have been mid this year, and this is actually better than I thought, or better than most other horror.
I totally forgot. Like, I watched that for one, or that it just came out this year.
Pretty early. I think it was like March. But yeah. Any number 2s?
Yeah. So these are the ones I had like the most trouble. Like, I made this after compiling like best performances and all that good jazz. I just had so much more to say about not this one, but my number 1. So that's why I flipped them. Last minute today at like 1 p.m. I told Sarah, I was like, I gotta do this. I think she's like, are you sure? So yeah, maybe it's just because I'm cruise pilled, but number 2 is Mission Impossible for me. It was my number 1 for like all year, but it's my number 2. I love these movies. You know, after finishing like the James Bond franchise, it felt like I felt a little twang in my heart of sadness and actual emotion of like leaving this character behind, and I dread the moment this happens in Mission Impossible, where I have to say goodbye to Ethan Hunt. I mean,
is it next movie?
It's just.
Will he actually be done?
I think so. I mean,
Botox will do him in.
I just. I don't
He's
know.
one
I
guy
really
that they would.
Though. I mean,
he'd be okay with like putting his face onto a different actor. I feel like he'd totally think that's okay as long as
like
his
you
legacy
made
survives.
jokes about just fucking CGI or whatever the fuck. Yeah, de-aging him, just like CGI de-aging him forever.
80 years
like
old, still
he's not even like in it. They just have him like fucking CGI'd in there.
Yeah, it was. I don't know. I these Mission Impossible movies, I love them. I think this was one of the more successful of them. I think this franchise is one of the like anomalies of other franchises where it just gets not better necessarily, but it doesn't lose much quality. Like Fallout is like peak. I mean, Fallout is a 5-star fucking movie. It's great. This movie isn't far behind, but it's like the 3rd best in the franchise, and saying that at number 7 is crazy for a franchise. So I think super successful movie. Tom Cruise is still fucking got it. Haley Atwood was awesome in this movie. I mean, all of them. Rebecca Ferguson is always awesome. So.
Nice. Definitely one of the better action movies of the year too, I will say.
Yeah.
The train sequence was amazing. I mean, shit, I'd watch that on repeat. So
nice,
very good.
Cool.
Loved it.
Shit.
Is this it?
My 2 was actually Oppenheimer, but I don't know if it deserves to be that high.
Whoa,
I think to be honest,
why you say that?
I liked it just because I don't know. I like just like the historical relevance of a lot of the characters in like the field of physics that they just brought in, and I don't know. I feel like I learned a lot of stuff about either Oppenheimer or just like the general vibe of what was going on around there, because I feel like I didn't really get that kind of perspective ever in history storytelling before. And yeah, I don't know. I liked it. It was really long and kind of drawn out at the end. I was still in it at the end, but yeah, I don't know.
I think that movie did an amazing job of like distilling the moral dilemma that everyone thinks of when they think of like nuclear weapons, you know, and how now we've outlawed them, and it's like distills it into Oppenheimer as a character. Like you literally see that in Cillian Murphy's character. It's just like, just well done. Yeah.
Hell yeah, Oppenheimer.
Right? That's good shit.
All
That's
right.
good shit.
I had no idea you liked it, Joe.
Yeah.
I don't know if I heard you talk about it.
Yeah, I think I had watched it after all of you guys had watched it, so I didn't get a chance to talk about it a lot.
Are we on to number ones then? Top of the year.
Yeah. What is the best movie of the year for you guys?
Yeah.
I don't want to go first because it's like super surprising for me, but it'll be a surprise. All right, I'll go first. It's They Cloned Tyrone. It took me by surprise. I was just like, yeah, it's just. There was the comment I think on Letterboxd that was like, "This is a Jordan Peele concept directed by Childish Gambino," and I was like, "That's pretty fucking spot on." Like,
yeah,
to the style and the premise. Yeah, it's just that movie. Just I don't know. It's like a movie I'll rewatch plenty of times. I'm sure it's like it'll feel fresh every time. I think, and I was impressed. I had not a theater release, a streaming only movie, and knocked it out of the park for me. So, my numero uno.
Hell yeah.
Nice.
How about y'all?
Yeah, I'll just go. My number one, kind of a low key number one this year, and it's the only movie that's 4.5 for me this year. Kind of sad. No 5-star movies this year for me. And the only 4.5 too. So. But it's Past Lives. Indie movie. It's kind of like been buzzed about in those circles, but this is the movie out of all the movies this year that I actually felt like actual emotions. Like I felt something watching this movie, and like I don't know. It's like movies can do multiple things, entertain and like be art. To me, they should be somewhere in the middle, you know. But I don't know, when they can really like strike relevance, that's when they're special to me too. So this movie deals a lot with like how your past experiences like dictate what you're feeling in the present, and like how you can kind of like rally like a false narrative kind of about what your past means and what you think it should be now. It's I don't know, it has to do with like relationships and just like misconnections, and like do you pursue them, do you move on, will you, you know, like it's yeah, I don't know, a lot of good acting, very subtle, very slow, drawn, like leads you there. But I'm giving best supporting actor to guy's name is John Majaro. He plays like the boyfriend character in it, who's kind of between the two people who are trying to like rekindle something potentially. Pretty difficult role to like pin down, and he kind of like nails like the in between of it all, and you still like him by the end of it, and it's
interesting.
It's well done. Yeah, not a movie that I think everyone would love, and I don't think people are gonna like the ending personally, but I found it to be really powerful. So it's really like the performances are great. The movie's very measured. Made me cry, made me feel things, and to me that's when a movie can make me feel things, that's when I know it's a good movie. So that's why I gave it number one. And yeah, nothing really topped it. Nothing really came even close. So
nice.
I added to my list. I'd never That one flew under my radar. I didn't hear about it. Yeah.
Cool. What you got, Joe?
I actually have Godzilla -1 as my number one movie.
Yeah. I thought I saw that coming just because I saw your rating on Letterboxd.
Yeah, I gave it a 4.5, and I think that of the things on my list, I probably would have given Oppenheimer a 4, which makes me think that like this was probably my only 4.5 movie of the year too. And I don't know. For me, I feel like it's obviously a Godzilla movie, but for me, this movie was more just about the characters. Like the main character is basically this like kamikaze pilot, and it's at the end of World War II, and he comes into this base, and he said basically something was wrong with his plane, and basically he just like didn't want to commit suicide because like it's the end of fucking World War II. Like why the fuck would you? He wants to live, you know what I mean? So basically, like while he's on this island, this is like the very beginning of the movie. Basically, while he's on this island, like mini Godzilla comes up onto the shore, like onto the beach, like in the middle of the night.
He's just a legend in this town.
He basically he's like elephant sized or like T-Rex sized at this point. And the main character basically has like a chance to kill him, or like probably could have killed him at this point. And he's in his like plane, like ready to shoot him, and he like walks through his like crosshairs, and he's just like too afraid to do it. And basically, I don't know, throughout the movie, like Godzilla is pretty much just a representation of like the guy's fear, and like eventually he just like throughout the movie he just has to like take responsibility for his actions and like help out how he can later on to take out Godzilla.
Damn,
I don't know, it's pretty good.
Said. I want to watch it.
And also just like his heat ray or whatever in this one is literally just like a fucking nuke. It's fucking awesome.
Insane.
It's
some of the best fucking like I don't know special effects with Godzilla's breath. It was incredible.
Yeah. And every I love time how like
his mouth, I'm like, do it again.
Right? Like, and I love how they call it a heat ray too, which I think is like a callback to like the original like fucking Godzilla movie. But also, I just wanted to point out because you just mentioned the special effects, and like the budget on this movie was like $15 million, and like before I made these lists, I didn't really think about it, but my bottom movies is Indiana Jones, and that was like $350 million budget, and like totally could have cut out all of the fucking de-aging CGI. Like did not need as much CGI at all, and like I feel like it just like proves that like. Yeah, if a $15 million makes or a $15 million movie, that's a fucking monster movie. Like you have to have CGI. Makes it top of my list. Like what the fuck are these guys doing? If like Indiana Jones is the bottom of my list, like with like a fucking I don't know, at least like over 10 times the fucking budget. I don't know.
Damn straight.
Pretty wild.
Ridiculous.
There were moments while watching Godzilla as he's swimming in the ocean. It's just like his head up above the water.
Yeah, it did look a little fucking weird.
It reminded me of my dog because my dog's always mad dogging everybody. He always looks grumpy. So I'm like, I can't not see my dog just paddling through the water right now. So.
Yeah, it's like just his eyes too. Like he does look like he's mean bugging people.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, like there are bits where like the CGI does look kind of weird. But I feel like for the most part, it wasn't too bad.
Yeah, especially
like,
when he
most
did
of
his
it was
heat ray.
like
that was
for
incredible.
the effect, like because like when he gets on land and he's walking around, he walks like kind of weird. But it's just supposed to be like a callback or like an homage to the original. So like
they like
it,
do
it
a
like
hybrid.
works.
Yeah, a hybrid.
Dude, I also
like
heard that like they're
modern.
releasing like a black and white version in Japan, and I'm kind of hoping that I don't know that might come to America or something.
Yeah.
Be kind of neat.
I gotta see it still while it's in theaters.
Yes,
it's good.
I'm kind of hyped for it now.
Yeah.
You guys talk about it.
Yeah. All right, Alex, close it out. What you got? Best movie of the year?
Yeah. So this one, the more I think about it, the more I just it fucking rolls, and it was probably the most enjoyment I had in a movie. And going through this, like I had Zoe Terakes. She was like on my runner-up for supporting roles. Joe Bird was in my runner-up, and my winner for lead roles was Sophie Wilde. And these all are in this movie. And it's Talk to Me. Great fucking horror movie.
Yeah.
Like from start to finish, it was just a great thrill ride for me. I think the camera work in it was super creative, and it gave like a new life to the genre. Like it wasn't just the classic jump scares. It was creative, and like when they would get possessed by these dead people, the way it snaps into the camera, like snaps back with them, and it comes back, and it does the come to, and it was great, and all the performances were like top notch, directed by YouTubers, written by YouTubers, which it was just I had a blast watching it, and it had a lot to say for a horror movie, which I think is good. It adds to it. It's not just the same old bullshit that a horror movie has to say, which is spooky ghosts, beware. It was like, these are the consequences of your decisions. Obviously, it has some tropes like the traumatic past with the parents, things like that. But in the end, what our main character has to go through and do to like fix the things that she's done, it really paid off. So
nice.
Yeah,
that was one I really wanted to see in theaters, but just
it's really good.
Didn't get the chance.
We'll get around to it soon. Yeah, it excites me that like new filmmakers are trying like a horror movie, because to me, like you're saying, like with the snapping of the camera and stuff like that, there's like, you can tell there's like an actual fresh mind behind that movie, like on a different level of like just actual filmmaking and like care, whereas like most horror movies are just like standardly done, so a little bit more fresh, I assume.
Yeah, I feel like so smooth with it too. Like, I don't know, it was just something so like awesome with how they did it, and it like told the story. It wasn't just like, oh, watch me do a cool camera trick. It like told the story as it was. It was really good.
Cool.
Yeah,
good stuff.
Yeah, like a lot of people told me to watch that, or like I don't know. I just heard a lot of good things about that movie. Yeah, I kind of just like forgot about it though. But I would assume it's on some streaming stuff at this point. I should probably put that on my list.
Maybe.
Not yet. I was looking for Oppenheimer, and it's not on anything yet, unfortunately. But
yeah,
soon.
That's fine.
Yeah.
No, it's not streaming. You could rent it for $5, but
I'll check it out when I can stream it for sure.
When the violence happens too in this movie, it's like, it's not just senseless violence. It like has a huge impact on the characters, and it's just crazy. It's really good. I really enjoyed it, and highly recommend.
Letterboxd is telling me you can find it on Apple TV. Talk to me. So
sure. So everyone's number one's Past Lives.
Godzilla.
Talk to me. They clone Tyrone.
Pretty good top 5. I mean, pretty good top.
What a crazy top 5.
It's
pretty. Yeah, it is a bit surprising.
I like it though.
Yeah, not what I would have expected.
Nah.
Right.
Well, there you have it. 2023 ranked. I guess if you're listening, put in the comments what you think. If you like person's list over the other, or what you think are the tops this year.
Yeah, put your top 5 in there or something, or your top 10, whatever.
Give us your top 50, and then we'll really talk.
Yeah, you know what?
Yeah.
Give us your top 100. God damn it.
Really fill out the comments section. Yeah. Really fucking.
Alrighty, well, thanks for listening, guys. We gotta get out of here, right? I'm tapped.
Yeah.
But it's been fun.
Yeah.
It's always fun doing the ranks, so I'll talk to you guys later. Have a good one.
Stay gold.